Tales of our endeavors proliferate. Tales of our endeavors proliferate.
And we're
On
live.
behalf-
How's everybody?
Good.
Great.
Just waking up.
I love how every time we go live, no matter what stream it is, it always opens an awkward conversation.
A little bit.
How's everybody doing? Stunned silence.
Fantastic.
Slowly counting down the time to the open beta for For Honor.
Yeah, is it go live tonight at 9 or at midnight or?
It starts 9 a.m. on Thursday Eastern time.
That's a really stupid time.
Yeah, well, it's Ubisoft, so
I will be asleep at that time. That's dumb. Like, that's a horrible time.
I'm actually contemplating not going to bed tonight just to play it, but at the same time, I'm like, that means tomorrow I'm going to be a zombie trying to stream it. So
yeah,
let's not do that.
Yeah, I will be getting up for work like 45 minutes after it goes live.
Tales of our endeavors proliferate.
Thank you guys for the host. Let's see. So I've got, I think, Succubus, Rojan, and Hybrid now for the host. Appreciate it, guys. Fine, don't say you're welcome. Fox.
No, I'm like, I didn't host you. Wait a minute. God damn it, Busby.
Did I not host you?
That was my thought process. I'm sorry.
Why no thank you for me? Apparently I didn't host you.
I didn't see a host come in from you. Your channel says General Mittens, that's why.
What?
The worst.
Auto host is broken.
AutoHost has been broken from day one.
Auto host.
It has.
I think it's a huge pain in the ass.
Tales of
Thanks,
our
Panzer.
I mean, it's great, but it's also a pain in the ass.
Yeah. It the priorities on it don't seem to work as well as I would want them to.
The biggest problem that I have with AutoHost is it tends to cancel out manual hosts. Like, when we end Hunter's stream, he hosts someone before he actually hits the stop stream button.
Mm-hmm.
So that host goes in, then he hits the stop stream button, and the auto host tries to kick in, sees it's already hosting someone, cancels that host, usually 3 or 4 times, and then the auto host kicks in, and then it gets replaced with the playlist. It's just a
Yeah,
huge
wow.
pain in the ass.
That is a hot bag of garbage. So, other than auto host problems, how's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Any
12 hours of Neo.
Yeah. So Panzer streamed 12 hours of Neo yesterday, and I got to catch a couple hours of it. And it looked good. I'm it's at the point where like I was like, all right, I need to go replay Dark Souls until I can pick up a copy of this. Kind of good.
I'm hearing from a lot of people that had Bloodborne as their favorite Souls game that Neo has now replaced Bloodborne as their favorite.
Oh,
Alright.
gosh.
So I enjoyed Bloodborne because it rewarded more aggressive play style than Dark Souls did, but Bloodborne was that first hit that got me hooked into the Souls series. So that'll be interesting to kind of see how it compares to the rest of them.
The selling point for me was when people describe it as it's Dark Souls meets Onimusha.
Yeah, it is
I
pretty
was
much.
like, okay, I love the Onimusha series. Let's do this.
I don't think I played Onimusha at all, so I have no reference on that one.
It's
Do you
Resident
have a
Evil in
PlayStation
Japan.
2? No. I haven't
So
had a
worth it.
PS2 for a while. But
Oh.
it's
Well-
Don't borrow mine.
Resident Evil in Japan. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, pretty much. In
Okay.
feudal Japan.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like Resident Evil and Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry I got into, but I didn't get into it until they did the I guess the rebrand, kind of the newer one that came out that was a little different, I guess, from the older ones.
DMC.
Yeah. And I really
The rebrand is actually what got me out of the series.
I only got into the rebrand for the soundtrack because one of my favorite industrial bands did a lot of the music for the soundtrack.
Combat Christ?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, they're playing here this month.
Everybody's playing here
I know.
this month. It sucks. Like, you're like, dude, we should just skip out on the show today and go see Anti-Flag. I'm like, I'd totally be down.
Yeah, you guys are lucky. We almost didn't have a show tonight. Because Real Big Fish and Anti-Flag is playing, and I'm just like, my 90s punk needs to go see that show. So, we almost didn't have stream tonight because I was like, concert or stream. But I'm here, so you guys owe me. No, I'm just kidding.
Dedication, sir.
You made the wrong choice.
Probably.
Real Big Fish, man. Come on.
No, I know. I guess. Let me see when that Combi Cry show is.
You're a bad fanboy.
I do like
I really
Combat
like. I was really going for Anti-Flag. I like Real Big Fish, but like Anti-Flag was the draw for me on that one. Oh, you know what? Fuck. piss. I think I'm leaving town for work that day that they're playing. Like, God damn it.
I thought you were going to say, fuck this, I'm leaving the stream and going to the concert.
No, we might
I'm
have
out.
we might have postponed a game for that one, but because it's dope and it's Combi Christ and a couple other bands.
Wait, Dope is playing?
Yeah,
Holy shit, there's a name I haven't heard in forever.
Right. So if I can weasel my way out of like leaving town that day for that, then I think I'm gonna go to that show. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of what else has been going on. Anybody watching movies? I finally saw Fantastic Beasts, and I was pretty happy with it. It was a good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one too. I saw it in the theaters, I think the week after it came out.
Afflicted. Thank you for the host or the follow rather.
I have to ask, did you get a Doctor Who feel from it?
From the case, yes.
I can understand why people would, but I personally did not.
I liked Colin Farrell's character a lot. Like, he played a good bad guy.
Yeah.
He did. I wasn't expecting him to be in it at all because I hadn't watched any trailers or anything, so I didn't know. But it was quite good.
I was really happy that they actually, like, and this is such a, like, rooting for the underdog kind of thing, but that they did conclude the little love story between the baker guy and the blonde sister.
Yeah.
I was really happy that they actually did something with that.
Yeah, so was I.
Trying to think of what else. I started Expanse thanks to Panzer, and holy shit, if you haven't watched that, go watch that.
It's so good.
After stream tonight. Don't do it right now.
What is it available on?
It's on Amazon. So if you've
The
got
first
Amazon
entire
Prime,
first season.
yeah.
It's on Amazon.
Gotcha.
But it feels like Game of Thrones mixed with like Battlestar Galactica. Is
that does
kind of
sound
the
pretty good.
feeling that I've got from it so far, with less
Sounds interesting.
incest. So
Aw, come on.
I mean, but
And
if
is it really like Game of Thrones?
if you're watching Game of Thrones for the incest, though, I think you're watching it for the wrong reasons.
But incest, it's the game the whole family can play.
Oh, God.
Oh
By
my
Parker
God.
Brothers.
By Parker Brothers.
But no, it was. I'm like 2 episodes into it. I didn't want to get too far into it because the girlfriend hasn't watched it with me yet. But the 2 episodes that I did watch, I was like, all right, I need to watch more of this. So
Has anybody watched Riverdale on Netflix at all?
no.
It's shaping up to be a really good series. I don't know if it's just going to be like a mini series or what, but I mean, you hear Riverdale and you think Archie, and it is an Archie thing. So it's, how is that ever going to be good?
Right.
But they took a really strange direction with it, and I love it.
Like strange, like Stranger Things direction with it, or like
Strange, like more mature than like Archie comics, because kids read Archie, but
Yeah.
this is not a show for kids.
okay.
Really?
Oh yeah, I recommend just watching the trailer or something for it to see if it's something you'd be interested in. But I'm loving it.
Right on.
Nice. I've been
Speaking-
super hooked on Taboo still. Like,
Yeah, I need to catch
that
up.
show. Dude, last episode was good.
Yeah, yeah. If you haven't watched Taboo, it's got fuck, what's his name? God damn it.
Tom Hardy.
Thank you, Tom
I'd
Hardy.
go gay for that guy. I would straight up go gay for Tom Hardy.
I'd be right there
No
with
shit.
you on that one. I think.
No shit.
But yeah, Tom Hardy's in it. I think he produced it with his father, if I remember right. It's a little like eight episode series that they're doing, and it's pretty much set in basically Blades in the Dark. Exact time frame, a little bit of the like occult mixed in there with it, and it's this guy coming back from being in Africa for years after his father dies, and like butting heads with the East India Trading Company and stuff. So it's pretty good. If you haven't checked it out, it's definitely worth a watch.
I will definitely have to start watching that.
What else? Stranger Things season 2 got announced. Starts
Yes,
on
yes, it
Halloween,
did.
and that like I love the first season. I've watched it twice now, I think, and
I
that's,
haven't even finished it.
It's definitely been my favorite new series last year, I think. Those Mav emotes though, that unicorn butt.
I love that one.
What Iron Fist got announced. The trailer looks real good. I kind of hope that they had done something similar to what they did with Luke Cage, where they Luke Cage they themed everything around
yes.
Tribe Called Quest episodes, and the titles and stuff. And the soundtrack from the trailer, I got very much hip hop kung fu influence on it. So I'm hoping they do something similar there.
Wu-Tang Clan, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Crossed?
That'd be
I was
cool.
gonna say Wu-Tang.
That'd be so dope. I'd be all about that.
Get that-
Wu-Tang references everywhere.
The album that fuckhead bought and actually just make it the soundtrack.
Yep, hopefully.
What else?
Enter the Badlands, season 2, starting soon.
I watched the first couple of episodes of that and just really couldn't get into it. Did it get any better?
It does a little bit. I just like it because it's basically like a different take on Journey to the West.
Yeah.
So, and that's something like I grew up with because, Vietnamese ancestry.
Right on.
And
Might have to give it another try then,
Very
because I did try it and I think it was either just too over the top or maybe the acting just didn't catch me or something.
the fighting in it's good.
Yeah,
Fighting
I
in it's worked
remember
well.
enjoying the costumes, and I remember enjoying the fight choreography. But there was something that just maybe it was the writing or something that just completely turned me off from it. I have to give it another try though. Speaking of shit, there was PlayStation this month, was it Odyssey? Is speaking of Journey to the West as the I think free on PlayStation this month, which was a retold Journey to the West tale.
Oh man, I forgot about Odyssey.
I think anything else been going on with you guys?
Just the same stuff that's been going on for the last 2 months.
Well, Hunter's got a promotion next week, right? Do you want to pimp that out a little bit?
Absolutely. Sure, a little bit. Starting on the 14th, well, kind of starting now, some of it's going on now. We are doing the single largest launch event ever done on Twitch by an unaffiliated individual broadcast. And by unaffiliated, I mean we are not partnering with Twitch and we are not partnering with Ubisoft. This is done 100% just by us. And it's for Honor. And we're giving away some beefy prizes and having a lot of contests and giveaways and stuff that are happening. So if you're interested, go over to my Twitter or Hunter's Twitter or Hunter's channel, just anywhere where Hunter is, and yell at him about it, and he will throw information your way.
But clearly,
I don't think Hunter will appreciate people yelling at him.
no, you should totally
Yell at him as loud as you can.
Hunter, get me stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. And the best thing about this is all of these contests and stuff that we're doing, they literally cost you nothing to enter, and they're so easy. Like the one for the biggest grand prizes that we're doing, all you have to do to enter it is write a haiku. That's it. That's all it takes.
something refrigerator.
Free stuff.
I'm gonna automatically disqualify you.
A Green's Chubby Samurai though is so good.
A Greens actually has some really good ones in there already.
Right on. And then
I've been snooping at the entries, and some of this shit that people are doing is publishable work. It's amazing.
Panzer, you did your first big promotion yesterday, right?
Yeah, 2 $20 gift cards to the user's choice. One dude wanted just a game off Battle.net, so I just sent him the key for that. And Lightning Invoker won a $20 Steam gift card. So
Right on. Streaming Neo.
streaming Neo for 12 hours.
Nice. Mags, what have you been streaming lately?
Mainly creative. I made emotes.
Yeah, you
I saw
working
you do
on
Rocket League this morning when I was sleeping.
Oh my god, I was so bad my OBS crashed. It's like, nope, you're done. It even took my taskbar.
What?
It ate my taskbar. I had to restart my computer. And by the time everything goes back up and running, he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm hosting this asshole. I'm done.
You working on
How much
emotes
stream you have there?
for anybody in
My
particular?
channel.
Happened to it.
No, hang on, watch, because now I have BTTV and I can show them off now. Hang on.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can.
Like that one? That's mine.
It doesn't work in my channel.
Well, you're a scrub butt. But it's through BTTV.
Yeah. I think BTT emotes are channel specific though, right? So I'd have to be in your channel.
No,
to see
that
it.
one it shows up in any channel. I'm looking right at it.
I need
Yeah,
to,
I
if
see
you
it
have
too.
a subscription to them, I think you're allotted
I'm-
like a minimum number or maximum number, I should say, of your own personal ones.
I can do 5 of my own emotes in any channel.
let's see.
Ooh.
I refreshed my my chatty. Chatty may be the reason that it didn't show up for me. Which I like chatty, but it has its flaws, like having to manually refresh emoticons a lot.
I can't use it.
I like it. It saves me so much because I'm in like constantly in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 channels at least.
Lurking.
Yeah,
Power lurker trying to earn all them background points.
that's right.
That's what Voltage does in mine.
No, in
Freaking Impious wins like every single competition I throw to.
Panzer's channel, I just bet on things and they happen. Like I'm seriously like just go in and try to pad the bet, so I'll bet on like, okay, it's gonna take you over 15 deaths to beat this boss, and then he just like does terrible at the boss, and I end up with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the only time Voltage shows up in my chat, which is bad because he's one of my moderators, is to just shower the chat with free XP, and then he just shit posts for a while.
I mean, that
Hey,
sums up
post here.
pretty well.
It's Voltage, and we love him, so.
I had to refresh my renew my sub to GM.
Hi, Poe! Still think we should rename the dog Poe.
Rename the dog Poe.
So, for you guys want to do a quick rundown for people that may have missed last session?
It'd be good if I opened my character sheet. That would be
It
great.
does help.
I mean, how else am I going to botch rolls tonight if I don't have the thing to botch the rolls with?
That's right. So what? Who wants to tell it? It's not fair if I do it. I get to tell stories all night. One of you guys do.
We were contracted to eliminate some competition, and it. I'm bad at these. Ro, you do it.
Wait, what?
I think you just got voluntold.
I just think I got voluntold after like Mag started like doing the last time on Dragon Ball Z and just handed it off. Ah. You know what? I'm gonna make Fox do it because I do it all the time in our D&D game. So
You are not going to make Fox do it because Fox is replying to a very important direct message right now.
all right. I'll just throw more dogs at you later.
Rude.
Rude. So what? We were contracted to kill. I forget his name because he is not important anymore because he's
Thorn.
dead. Kill a guy who was working the docks selling some sort of
Yes.
magic stuff.
Spirit essence.
Spirit essence. Yeah, I was gonna say spirit goo, but yeah, we were hot. I have my. You know what? I have my notes. Why don't I just consort the notes?
That could potentially be real helpful.
That would be helpful if I grab the right Ravenclaw book. Shut up, Mags. Nope, that's not it either. Well,
All right. So
my
last
notes
time,
have my
you guys-
notes have disappeared.
fuck it. Last time, you guys were contacted by what was her name? Valette Bowden, who runs a Black Lotus Den, to take out Thorn, a dealer in spirit essence in the docks area of Duskwall, so that she could kind of move into his turf and kind of she's trying to expand her network and get out of just doing Black Lotus Dens because she finds the people that that kind of attracts to be kind of abhorrent. And so you guys, and she wanted to make sure that it looked like it was a cult involvement in the death, so that it wouldn't be kind of tied back to her. And we had Gunner stood point and look out. Gunner and Aelin tracked Thorne and his whereabouts and kind of learned where his house was. And then while he was out selling his wares one day, you guys came up and Gunnar and Forbes, his dog, kept watch outside in the park, and Crow, or Hybrid Magpie's character, created some unnatural fog to hide you guys breaking into his house and laying in wait for him to arrive and committing the murder. And we did all that, and we did character creation as well last time. So it was a real short, kind of straightforward job for you guys. We did character creation first, did the job, and then we did the downtime activities for you guys, which is a little bit more involved in Blades in the Dark than they are in D&D. So we kind of made sure that you lowered your stress or kind of removed some of the heat from the crew after the job and did all that fun stuff. And we didn't actually follow up with you guys and Valette as far as getting paid. So we're going to start off tonight's session with you guys kind of back in the Black Lotus Den, standing there at Valette's desk, and she's got the other half of your payment on the table for you. And she says, I appreciate your business, or your working with you, rather. You guys did exactly what I needed done. With that, I have a more, shall we say, prestigious client that would like a rather dependable but unknown crew to help him with a situation and a goal that he has in mind. And people of your particular talents would be useful to him. If that's something you're interested in, if you want to make a name for yourself and more coin than you can probably spend.
I'm down with coin.
What was that, Mags?
I said I am down with coin.
I don't think anyone here has a problem with coin.
No.
Not at all.
She nods and she goes, okay. And she takes out a book and a scrap of paper, and she scribbles out an address on it. And it's just kind of this pen that's a nice, like, long quill. Looks like it's more decorative than an instrument, but she actually, like, picks it up and writes with it. And it's scrawled in a very kind of delicate hand, but it's an address that you guys see it, and you're instantly familiar with it because it's one of the 2 remaining towers in 6 towers. She goes, this is the address. And she kind of lets you guys kind of take it in for a moment, knowing that you'll recognize, what the address is. She says, you're to go to the Rowan house, and you're to ask for Holtz. None of you have actually ever heard of Rowan Holtz, or excuse me, Holtz Rowan, though. That's not a name that really jumps out at you. You know the name Rowan. That's one of the the 2 big houses that are left. But Holtz Rowan isn't somebody that you're familiar with. What are you guys doing with that information?
I think we should ask around first, because if it's somebody we haven't heard of from a fairly prestigious name, that's not a really big red flag, but I'd like to know who we're dealing with.
We could always ask her, too, more information and see if she's willing to feed us any more other than just the target.
What information do we have on the Rowan family?
So you know enough that the Rowan family is one of those 2 prestigious houses. You know that they're mostly recluses and shut-ins. When they do appear in public, they appear very lavishly dressed. Nobody's really sure how they're making their money anymore, though.
How many members of the family do we know exists?
You probably know of at least three. It would be kind of the elder parents, and then a son. And give me a second, I'll give you names. Let's call it Vivian for the mom, Duncan for the dad, and Vincent for the son.
Plus Rowan, so 3 family members plus Rowan. No.
Those are all Rowans. So Rowan is the last name.
Oh, okay.
Holtz Rowan is the one scribbled on the scrap of paper, though.
Okay. So now we know that there's 4 of them. So Vivian, Duncan,
Vincent, and now you have
Vincent,
this name,
and
Holtz. Yeah. Hey, Sarah. Welcome to the channel. So are you guys asking her any more information, or?
Ask specifics of the job and payment.
She says, I don't know the specifics. It's just that it's come to me through my supplying goods to them that they are in the market for a crew with your talents that's relatively unknown and can work in quiet.
What can you tell us about this Holtz? I don't recall ever hearing of him in the family line.
Oh, yes. So Holtz is the name to ask for the job. It's to clue them in as to the reason why you're there. Holtz isn't actually a person.
Okay, that explains a lot.
So you've had dealings with this family in the past, you said, through your career, let's put it. Do you see them as trustworthy? If they come to you with information or through your dealings with them, do you deem them as someone or a family that you can take for their word, or do they tend to have an ulterior motive?
No, with the houses, there are always other motives, but I do trust the Rowans. Just the son Vincent he favors the Lotus on occasion, but doesn't let it wrap its roots around him.
I think that's all I need to know going forward.
I'm good.
Same here.
Okay.
I smack Rojan's character on the butt and says, "Race you there," as I run out the door.
All right. And for that, we'll do you guys want to go back to your lair or your hideout and beforehand and take care of anything, or are you just wanting to kind of go follow up at the Rowan house right away?
Well, first off, after she smacks my ass and run, the first thing I do is to make sure she didn't leave like a handprint on my pants.
Okay.
And just shake my head begrudgingly and just start walking out with the handkerchief once again over my face, so I don't have to smell the Lotus as we walk through the den.
Okay. But are you guys down to go check out the Rowan house right away, or is there anything you want to take care of beforehand?
What can we use coin for right now?
That's a good point.
What did you want to use it for? Let me ask that. Did you have something in mind?
No, I'm just curious. Options. Since this is kind of a new game for all of us.
Right. So you can kind of keep your coin to use it to later upgrade your crew. So one of the things that you end up upgrading when you upgrade your crew is your quality of life. It means better weapons, but it happens as a whole for the crew instead of for one individual. That also kind of increases your standing as far as what your layer can be, but it also draws more attention to the crew. If you have things that you want to spend it on personally, it's It's like stuff like indulging in your vices, or maybe going out and gambling or stuff like that you would take care of kind of in your downtime.
Personally, as a crew, I'd like to see us work towards maybe trying to repair the upper floors of the tower that we're in. So maybe we can use like the top and the roof as like a lookout point. Because currently we only have the bottom 2 floors.
This is true.
Does seem like a good idea.
Okay. So repairing kind of your lair. Let me see if I have any kind of guidelines for that. I have an idea of what it would probably cost in my head, but I want to see if the game actually has something for that. So let's see. 53 maybe. Yeah. And then you could also use it for things like paying off the guards so that your heat is lower after or the blue coats rather, so your heat's lower after a score. Stuff like that.
And on the character sheet for crew mode on the bottom for cohorts, I think that's where my dog goes, as well as that guy I picked up too.
Yeah, if you want to put him in there, that sounds like the perfect spot for it. Oh, there's the crew advancement that I was looking for earlier. It's way down, so your rep's not at 3, it's at 0. And your crew advancement's at 3. There we go. Okay. Alright, cool. Yep, that looks like a good spot, and then I'll transfer that over after game. Cool. So yeah, so improving your layer is definitely something you can set coin aside for, and you can actually even add to it as you guys work. There's options in here for like a workshop or a vault to make the layer more secure, stuff along those lines. I think fixing it up so that you had a lookout, we'd probably call that making it a little bit more secure, so you guys can kind of keep an eye on who's approaching the layer without being seen. Now in 6 Towers, kind of restoring it would definitely draw some attention, since most of 6 Towers at this point is really kind of run down and dilapidated. But you guys can maybe fix up the innards while keeping kind of the outside still looking run down a bit.
I think that's a good idea. Just by fixing up what we ourselves are going to be using, while still keeping it I guess you would say kind of in disguise.
Yeah.
Just to make it look like any other rundown tower.
The outside of the tower would basically become the facade. We would put up studs. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my wall like, what the fuck is that called?
It's called a wall.
Stuff in the wall, but no, basically bracing the inside of it so that we could put up decent walls, decorate, wallpaper, fancy schmancy stuff, bolster the ceilings and all that cool stuff, but still leave the outside looking in shambles.
Sure.
I don't think it would be too hard to do.
No, that
maybe get some discount Halloween supplies and put some fake cobwebs outside and make
There
it
you
look
go.
even more like
Oh
crap.
my god!
Bedazzle it.
Just bedazzle it. Just get a big old neon sign that says "Assassins here."
Apocalyptic Zom 1, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome to the game.
For your stay.
Weird, I got the sound effect, but the graphic didn't pop up. Oh, whatever. That's funky.
Yeah, I haven't seen the graphic pop up for any of them.
The one
The only graphic I've seen is for the hosts.
Huh. I'll have to check out Twitch alerts and see what's going on there.
Yeah,
But
I know Twitch alerts recently had an issue with the URLs to where I had to repaste all of them into OBS.
fun. Okay, I'll have to work on that later. But nonetheless, thank you for the follow. We appreciate it. All right, so yeah, you guys can spend a little bit of coin to try to reinforce the insides of the top couple of levels. Let's call it 1 coin per level that you want to work on.
Sounds good.
So if you guys want to do, let's call your tower probably, let's call it 4 floors. So you guys are in the bottom two.
Your stay.
Salty Beard and his cat. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the game. You guys are in the first two, so you've got 2 floors that you can kind of renovate and make functional. The tower at one point was probably 6 stories, but the top 2 floors have just completely collapsed in on themselves. So it's just a bunch of rubble, and the top floor is just completely missing. So you really got 4 functional floors.
I'd say just 1 floor. The 3rd story sounds like a good vantage point. 3 stories high is pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of the houses around you are probably 3 stories. They have like 2 stories, and then you've got kind of like that roof peak attic that you'd see in like Victorian row homes. So
Yeah, we can go up to the 3rd floor now, and then if we decide we need the 4th one later, we can always invest money into that.
Yeah.
all right, so I'm
Sounds like a
gonna
good idea.
remove a coin from you guys and from your crew rather. Can I? There we go. And,
We should also probably think of a name for our crew at some point.
add one to security. Yeah. Did you guys get a name? HP Fox, I'm messing with your sheet, so that's why it's flipping around on you.
Okay. What the hell just happened?
Yeah, did you fill out a name during your last job? I mean, it's not something you might need to come up yet, but if you guys felt like you stumbled across one, then throw out options.
We may not need one immediately, but as we get more reputation and people familiarize themselves with us, would probably be good to have one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think once we start doing a couple jobs and our group persona starts coming out, a name will fall into place.
All right.
Because right now it's, we made fog. HB stabbed a guy in the back, and I hid in a pantry. So, not really a great start to a group name.
Fair enough. You want to be the foggy pantry hiders. All right.
Just don't forget the R.
Does anybody else have anything you guys want to do before going in and investigating this new lead?
No, I think I'm set.
Yeah.
And Country apparently lives in the long dark perpetually. It's apparently negative 30 degrees outside. That's ridiculous.
Ugh, I got cold just hearing that.
Right.
Ooh.
Okay. So doesn't sound like anything else needs to be taken care of before you guys kind of follow up on this, on the new job lead that you got?
Yep.
Okay. So we're gonna kind of fast forward, and you guys are at the front door of the Rowan House Tower, which is kind of what it's become known as, and it's one of the 2 towers in 6 towers that's still intact and well taken care of. The wrought iron that around other houses has begun to rust and is bent and other places is well maintained and taken care of. In fact, the wrought iron fence around this house is probably about 7 or 8 feet tall, and there's a gate that you kind of go into to lead up to the front door, and the Rowans are well off enough that they post guards outside of their gate and at the front door. And you guys kind of measure the house up as you walk in, like trying to see vulnerabilities and just eyeing it like you've come to do with any structures that you approach. And you're looking at it, you're like, all right, this would actually take me some time and some effort to get into if I wanted to get into this place. But you approach the guard, and he looks the 4 of you over without really a verbal response, just gives you a kind of a cocked head and a raised eyebrow as you approach.
Did we even decide who the group leader is going to be?
I don't think there was ever a verbal
or the face
discussion.
We'll
or,
draw.
or
We
like
will
the
draw
face.
straws every mission.
It was Forbes.
It's definitely not going to be
Forbes
me
appointment.
because my character is like trash at talking to other people.
Who had the highest consorter sway? Anybody?
I have 1 point in sway.
I have no points in either.
I have 1 point in command. That's it.
Wow.
Actually, I have no points whatsoever in any.
We'll just
of
let the dog
resolve
take
stuff.
lead again. Just let the dog do it.
The dog just walks up and starts talking to him. They just start petting the dog. We walk in. I mean,
What does hybrid sheet look like?
Dismal.
Hybrid could make a decent face, or I think either Crow or Chesh would probably be your best faces.
My character would be very hard to take seriously, though, if you look at the very back end of my look. Very petite, could pass for a 15-year-old.
I think Chesh might be the best just because he's a little bit fancier dressed to take point on this one.
true, and we are dealing with high society people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Guess I'm the one going to be talking us into doom tonight. All right. So the guard, you said the guards just give us a once over with their eyebrow raised.
Yeah, he kind of cocks his head a little bit to the side, raises his eyebrow, doesn't really give you like a verbal response, just a kind of a "what are you doing here" look.
All right. I slowly approach them, kind of keeping my hands, out in the open to like show that I'm not making a gesture for any sort of weaponry or whatnot. And I just give them a polite half smile as to not set them off with the huge freaking grin that I have. And I just say, "Good day, gentlemen. I was told that I would be able to inquire about a business opportunity with a Mr. Holtz."
He thinks for a second, and he goes, "Of course, you will take the side entrance." And even though this guy is a guard, he's very well spoken. He says, "You'll take the side entrance. You will not touch anything, and Master Holtz will join you momentarily." And he gestures off to the side of the house, and you can see like there's the front door, and then there's a little path that runs back through a little garden, and you can kind of see the silhouette, or not the silhouette, but the outline of like a door off to the side and down a couple of steps.
I nod my head respectfully and thank him, and I motion for the rest of the group to follow me.
Okay. And so he kind of stops Gunnar with just a gentle hand, and he says, "Your companion." I'm assuming that Forbes is with you.
Yeah.
Okay. He says your companion will need to wait outside if you would.
Don't worry, he's house trained.
Right? I just tell wherever I go, he goes.
Well, I will be happy to provide him with food and water, but Master Holtz is allergic to the canines.
Do I want to stay outside and play point for you guys, just in case?
Do we get any sort of feeling that this may be some sort of a setup?
Roll me your attune.
My attune.
All of us
I
have
will-
0. Yes.
Yes,
Also
here we go.
remind
Here
everyone
goes
that
this botch roll.
I did ask Volette about this exact thing, and she said they were trustworthy.
So I hit.
Yes, but as the guard.
I roll a tune, right?
Yep.
Even if I have no points in it.
Yep. What'll happen is it'll roll 2, and we will take your lowest one.
All right, and it's risky or
It's controlled. It's controlled.
Okay.
So 5.
So 5.
2, rather, because we
2.
took the lowest.
Lowest.
Take the lowest because I'm not trained.
Yeah. So you get the feeling that everything's on the up and up. Everything feels fine.
Okay. I look back. I'm like, Gunnar, it's okay. They probably just don't want him tracking mud into the house or anything.
And the guard nods and he says, "That's it precisely."
All right. Tell Forbes to sit, hang out, and stay, and head down with everybody.
Okay. And as you are kind of telling him to sit and stay, the guard that was at the gate walks up and he's got like a cup of water and a cup of raw meat that he kind of puts down in front of Forbes.
Where did he pull that out from?
His pockets, of course.
Dude's expecting a dog.
You don't
Guards
carry...
have to be prepared for every situation, so they probably have emergency dog food in their pockets.
Like, you don't
My
carry a cup
character-
of water around in your pocket? Come on.
My character looks at the guard and just kind of does. As we walk in. Watching you.
Now, I just had this image of this child-sized person doing this to a
Right.
guard.
Hey, watching you.
I look at the guard and I look at Forbes and I'm just like, leave it, and the dog doesn't touch it.
Okay. So you guys walk in, and the stairs from the side entrance kind of descend down into an earthen cellar. So you've got these rough carved walls throughout the corridor that it leads into, and eventually it opens up into, after kind of going around the outside of probably what is half the circumference of the tower, the radius of the tower. It opens up into a one large room that takes up the whole kind of base of the tower area. And it's lit by candles that are mounted on the wall, and there's a single table kind of in the center. And the table is long enough that a person would fit on it. And in fact, there are kind of chains at each corner, and some residual blood kind of stains on the table.
And this is the room we just walked into?
It is.
I look back at the rest of the group. I'm like, well, this is not what I expected.
Another pat on the butt. Good job. Smack.
Will you stop that?
Hey, I can't reach any higher.
I'm gonna try to. You said the room was pretty dark, right?
It's
Except
actually
for-
fairly well lit. It's just lit by
A little
candles that are on the walls.
There's nothing else in the room that we can kind of notice. Any people?
There's a doorway on the other side of the room, but that's it.
Is there
And
any
it's
part of
just
the,
us four, right?
It is.
is there any part of the room that's kind of darker than the rest, like any shadows or anything that I can just kind of hang out in?
No, it's a round room. So there's no corners that are filled with shadows, and the lights are placed at pretty even intervals to kind of give even light across the whole room.
Gotcha.
That being said, it's fairly dark because it is a large room just lit by candlelight. The darkest place is the center where the table sits.
Is there anything that I can hear on the other side of the door?
The other side of the door on the other side of the room, rather.
Yeah.
Actually, after you guys have been there for a moment, that door opens. So you've
Yep.
had time to kind of take in the room and kind of get a feel of like what's in here, and the door opens, and Vincent steps through, leading another person kind of by the arm, not forcefully, but definitely is having to kind of direct. And Hybrid Crow recognizes the person that's being brought in right away. So in Blades in the Dark, there are these creatures that are called husks, which are people that don't have a spirit or a ghost in them any longer. And they're really just kind of shells of people, and a lot of the society in Blades in the Dark don't really treat them as people. So the person he's leading in has this very blank stare, and just very kind of hollow look to him. And Vincent says, "Oh, you're here for the meeting with Mr. Holtz, is that correct?"
I give Vincent and I was like, yes, that is correct. Is there any reason why Mr. Holtz has asked to meet us in such a dreary looking, room?
Slaughterhouse?
Oh, well, I have the meeting here because I don't need my parents prying into our business. As far as the room, and he's leading the husk over to the table and like chaining him down as he's talking through this the whole time. He's like, "Well, this is my my ritual and my worship area. So I figured I would get this out of the way while we discuss business." And he's finishing up chaining the husk to the table as he's saying this, and he pulls out kind of a barber's straight razor from his pocket, And he's talking very nonchalantly about this as he's doing this. And he says, I have need of proving myself and advancing Rowan House. And as he's saying this, he begins to like slice into the husk and like just kind of start to flay him. And he's running like the razor down the thing's forearms and peeling back the skin. And he says, I want to take the Surlock house out of Six Towers. Surlock being the other remaining house in Six Towers that still is an actual house and is the other tower, basically.
Is it spelled like it sounds like Sir Lock?
Sorry, Scurlock. It's Scurlock.
What do we know about the Skurlock house, if anything?
So the Scurlock house is mostly abandoned. It's really the Scurlock's family's only still claim in Duskwall. There's one member of the Scurlock family that lives in the house still, but they have a lot of dealings still that go on in Duskwall. A lot of the Scurlock house, the main kind of Scurlock, has moved outside of Duskwall and now claims to have an estate in the Deadlands somewhere outside of the Lightning Wall. But he says, I would have Scurlock House brought to their knees in Duskwall. And as he's saying this, he's like cutting a slice down this thing's the length of this thing's chest and beginning to like flay the skin there. He says, I want them not just out of Duskwall, but I want them broken. I want all of their connections to this city severed. And he's kind of looking at you guys, just locked eyes with each of you as he's going through this, and he's going through the process of flaying this husk. So his eyes are just like locked on you guys the whole time, as if he's just kind of doing the flaying by muscle memory.
Impressive.
Creepy.
How would you like how would you like us to go about bringing them to their knees?
Well, the remaining member of the Scurlock house is Orland, and he is really here to oversee the Scurlock's family's business in Duskwall. And I need him to be vulnerable. And for that to happen, and for Scurlock House to lose its grip on Duskwall, there are 3 people that will need to be removed before Orlin knows what's going to happen to him.
And who are these 3 unfortunate souls?
Orlin has contacts within the Blue Coat, a captain, Aldo, who provides security at his manor. Aldo will need to be removed. There's also a Leviathan hunter captain, Syrah, who continues to trade in Duskwall in the name of House Surlock, that needs to be removed. And lastly, Orlin's advisor, Una, who is a occult practitioner who needs to be removed. But each of these needs to be removed in certain ways so that Orlin doesn't know I'm after him.
And what are these specifics?
Well, Una has the habit of disappearing for weeks on end sometimes on vision quests or whatever these occultists do. And so she should just maybe not come back from one of those. If you... Hang on just a second. Sorry. She says, if you were to make her just disappear without anyone knowing, that would be preferable.
Simple Simple vanishing act. Shouldn't be too hard for us.
Aldo, because Aldo is a blue coat and provides security for Orlin, why not just make it look like an investigation gone wrong? That would at least shake up Orlin, but I don't think it would tip him off. That's feasible, because Aldo provides security for Orlin in his downtime, but dying on the job is a work hazard of the Bluecoats. And then lastly, Syrah needs to be the last one to die, and I need it, and I want it to be the most violent, gruesome death that you can think of, because at that point I want Orlin to know what's happening to him.
So, the bloodier the better.
Absolutely.
I look back at the others in the group to see what their reactions are, or what their take on the whole contract is.
I'm just standing there with my arms crossed, staring at Vincent, my eyes slightly squinted. I don't really trust him at all.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one who gets that feeling.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the situation. I'd ask how much payment will be for each target.
How much sounds reasonable to you for?
How much you got?
More than is necessary, I promise.
3 coin per target.
He raises an eyebrow and goes, "That's it?"
Isn't there more to the job? Or is that it?
That's the job for now. You take care of those 3, and I may have one more job for you.
That's what I figured.
But these 3 have to go first.
So, what do you get out of it? What are you hoping to gain here? Why do you want them removed from the city? And more importantly, why do you not want your parents involved or knowing about it?
I want the Skurlock house removed from the city so that I and my family can begin to rebuild 6 Towers the way that we see fit.
So you want control of the city?
I want control of 6 Towers to start, but eventually control of the city isn't a bad thing. As for my parents, well, I need to prove myself to them.
And if you can't?
As I hold him, he's like, this gentleman is just trying to carry through his ambitions before showing to prove to his parents that he is a capable man.
He nods, and as he nods, he begins to cut back the scalp on the husk.
He goes, yeah, I look over again, it's like, should we take this? I mean, it seems rather simple work for us.
And he says, 5 coin per target.
5 coin.
Oh, now he's trying to buy us.
I say we accept, but we discuss it when we are in private. So I just state that, yeah, we should accept it, and I just look over at everybody like we're going to talk about this later.
Good. I turn around and nods. 5 coin per target.
He nods, and with that slits the husk's throat and lets it kind of bleed out onto the table. Says it's done. I will look forward to your return. Just simply ask for Holtz as you did today, and we'll discuss your results. And he kind of pulls out a handkerchief from his pocket and wipes his hand, wipes the blade of the straight razor, the blood off of it, and just kind of drops it on the husk's face and turns to walk towards the door on the other side of the room.
All right. As he does that, I turn to walk out the way we came.
Okay. And that seems like a good place to take our first break. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, get up, walk around. I'm going to grab something to drink because my throat's dry. And we will be back in just a couple minutes. Thanks, folks.
All right.
Soda time.
Oh, wait, that's awesome. I don't like him.
Oh, I don't like him either.
condition where he can't be
And
in
we're
the sunlight.
back.
Hi!
So
We come back to hybrid describing vampires. That's the only thing I can imagine that you were just describing.
Not far off.
No? Alright, good. Alright, so you guys got a new job from Orlin. Or excuse me, not from Orlin. From Vincent. To take out Orlin Scorlack. Skurlock.
Skurlock.
There we go.
He's a Sarlacc pit.
Weren't feeling real comfortable with Vincent there.
I don't like him. I said
The moment-
kill him.
The moment we get out of that that basement, I give the most overly dramatic shiver, just like shaking out the creeps. And I look back. I look at Crow. It's like, okay, you deal in some rather spooky stuff. What was this whole talk about favor in a blood-soaked room as he's flaying somebody in front of us?
I think he was trying to pact us. I don't like this guy.
Give me a tune roll, hybrid, for Crow.
All right, risky, controlled.
It's controlled. You guys aren't in any danger for this.
Okay, standard.
Standard effect.
Got it. Any bonus or
Well,
get
you
off
can
me, dog.
you
Stop licking
can
me.
you can push yourself and take some stress, or you can take a devil's bargain.
I'm probably a little stressed anyway because that was freaky as hell. So I'm gonna go ahead and push.
Okay. Yes, you got a
Ooh.
crit. Perfect.
Damn.
So you actually know exactly what that was. There's a, for lack of a better term, a religion in Duskwall that is called the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh. And they believe that the flesh is the only pure thing and that the spirit is tainting it, essentially. And a lot of some of their more fanatical worshippers do things like flay people as part of their religious attunements. So it's not terribly unheard of, but it's not something that everybody does either.
So we're dealing with a fanatic.
If I have to give you like
Yay.
an example, it'd be like a Mennonite is to kind of like Christianity. If that example is probably the closest thing I can think of.
So it's his religious practice. I also feel he was trying to intimidate us. I don't like him. He may hail from a prosperous family, but he is not a gentleman in any way.
You might want to check your boots after leaving that room, just in case.
I'm burning them. They have been
My new
tainted
ones.
with that. I may burn this entire outfit. I just got it, but it's been tainted by that room.
Forbes didn't eat any of the food or drink the water, right?
He did not.
He's a well-trained puppy.
And the fact that he doesn't want his parents to find out. I don't think this is a means to show them, to get it done so he could show them that he could prosper on his own. To have a room like that and the parents be completely oblivious to it if they themselves are not worshippers of this.
So are we out of earshot of this place now? Like
Yeah,
we
you
can
guys
talk
have-
openly?
You guys have walked out. You're probably either back at the lair or on your way back to the lair.
So this is what I propose. Because it sounds like not one of us even remotely trusts this guy or really wants anything to do with him at this point. We get more information on Orland and the Skurlock house. And maybe we approach that house and see if they might be interested in knowing about the contract that we were just hired for. And if there's anything that they want us to do about him, maybe. Because I don't want some fanatical worshiper in control of this city.
Mm-mm.
I'm right there with you. Also, why would somebody like that in a house that obviously has the upper hand in regards of manpower need even request an unheard of group like us when there are larger organizations out there who can easily get this job done in probably
because
half the time?
Nobody else in their right mind will touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, this isn't just any old assassin job for us. This is something that may cause political discourse within the city.
absolutely.
So this feels more than like a power struggle. This almost feels like a personal vendetta.
Hence why he doesn't want mommy and daddy finding out.
And those were 3 like key players in the city that he wants us to take out. So, it might be in our best interest and the best interest of the city that maybe instead of killing them, we work with them to deal with this Vincent character.
I mean, if we do that though, if we kind of tip him off and get him after us.
Unless we make it look like we killed them.
Yeah, I think Orland's like if we can get Orland's advisor Una, the person who disappears for weeks on end, just like out of the picture to get the Skurlock House's attention and draw that to them and make them come to us to have a private discussion. That might be kind of worthwhile to do. Because I think that would be probably the easiest one to like kidnap, possibly.
Especially if we hit them when they're on one of their vision quests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would probably be the perfect person to maybe relay a message for us and set up a meeting.
This whole situation stinks. I don't like it.
I just want to be the guy who puts a bullet through Vincent's head. Just saying.
I'll hold them.
I want to be that guy.
Also, I don't like it's like I originally thought they wanted to keep Fords out of the house because dogs sometimes track mud, but he literally took us into a murder basement.
Yeah.
Mud would have been an improvement to that place.
We weren't followed or anything by anybody going back, were we?
Roll me your prowl.
Prowl.
Or not prowl. Is it prowl? Hang
Survey? I think it's survey.
on. Yeah, you can give me a survey. That's fine.
I think out of the two, it's whichever one you're more comfortable rolling, I guess.
Yeah, you're telling me. Do you want to wear a survey or?
Because I'm not tracking anybody specifically, so it wouldn't be hunt. I think survey would be the
Yeah, go for it.
controlled. Standard.
Yeah, controlled. You guys aren't. And then standard. And then if you want to push yourself or take a devil's bargain, you can.
What would be the devil's bargain?
See, you guys are walking through the cities talking about this. So maybe somebody from a rival gang would overhear you guys and then kind of cause some complications for you.
I'll push myself. So 1 bonus dice for 2 stress.
Yep.
Worth it.
6. So no,
Nice.
you guys look back and you're kind of glancing over your shoulder very nonchalantly the whole time, but you don't see anybody that's been following you. And you've been checking like alleys and rooftops, and it's been pretty quiet.
Nice. I say we track down Una on one of his little spirit quests and get them to send a message. At the very least, we can kidnap them, use
And
like
keep them
something
out of
that's
harm's
noticeable. noticeable from that person, let's say like a pendant or a ring, and then send that to the Skurlock house to get a meeting. Because if it was just like us four rolling up on the doors, be like, oh, we have this information, that's not going to be good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
We may want to find another way to do that, because if we send a token of Una's to the house, that may cause somewhat of an uproar, which would lead back to Vincent finding out.
Well, we could, if we have to go the route of sending a token of some kind, we could perhaps convince this person to write
Attach
a
a
note
note?
or something
High
that we could send with it.
five!
Just explaining that they're alive and unharmed, and all we want is to talk.
Yeah, the thing with that too is, I mean, he's asking him for dye to in specific ways. How will he know if we kill Una or not? Especially because they disappear. We can still get paid, guys. We can still
Talks
get paid.
talks within society. News like this would spread like wildfire.
But they usually disappear for a couple of weeks, so.
Well, and if we either kidnap them or catch them when they are on one of their vision quests or whatever it is they do, and our talks with that person specifically are successful, then we can just make sure they stay out of the picture so it looks like they were killed.
Mm-hmm. And we can still get paid.
So I take it, so I gather from everyone here, we're all in agreement to double cross him.
Yeah, pretty
Yep.
much.
Yeah. No.
I mean, it may not be very good for our reputation, but I think having a fanatic in control of the city is worse than, having a few people say things behind our back.
True. Do we know how many followers of Vincent's religion are in this city, or?
Yeah, it's a pretty mainstream religion.
Okay.
There are churches to the ecstasy of the flesh in every kind of section of Duskwall. So it's a pretty prominent religion, especially in the more well-to-do areas.
High society always has its weirdos.
At one point, I counted you among them, but this guy's far weirder than you are.
I may have my oddities about me, but I am not going to bloody my blades or ruin my clothing flaying human beings.
Is that the worst thing you see about it? Is your clothing?
Yeah,
You stand over there. You stand over there.
Crow were killers. We've probably done worse than flay somebody.
I'm not worried about the flag. You worried about your clothes is what bothers me.
Everyone's got their priorities.
Yeah. I'm thinking just because, like, the family was supposedly on the up and up, that working for Vincent is definitely not something we want to do with the parents.
Would we be able to find out if the parents are maybe in the same following of the Ecstasy of Flesh, or if this is just something that Vincent does on his spare time?
Yeah, how would you go about finding that out?
Crow, you got any contacts that may know that?
Oh gosh.
Since again, you're in the circle of spooky.
I think mine might be a little upset with me.
What did you do?
We killed somebody?
We killed his friend.
Okay. That's a day ending in Y. What did you do?
I went to ask my contact for a little bit of advice and maybe even a little bit of help, and then as it turned out, she was in our target's pocket, so to speak. So she and I might not exactly be on speaking terms at the moment, and I'm not keen to find out.
Well, I can't go just asking random people around the town if they know if that family's into carving up bodies.
I could ask a few dead people.
Dead people work.
Did anybody possibly even remotely recognize that husk? Because if I could find their soul, I might be able to find out a little bit more about them.
Or another option is, I mean, these people are part of one of the two largest houses in this part of the city, right? And if this is a fairly mainstream religion, you would think if they were part of it, they would be pretty big players within it. So, I mean, we could just try and, go to their church or place of worship or whatever and, feign interest in becoming part of the religion and ask about the big players in it. Everybody cares about status in this city, so that might be open information just because of that.
I'm gonna go back to the Black Lotus Den and see if I can get some more information from. Unless anybody
Okay.
objects, yeah. 'Cause she's dealt with the family, but I'm not sure if she's dealt with Vincent specifically. And see,
Yeah, she did say that he was into the Lotus, so maybe.
yeah.
In regards to Crow's question about if anybody recognizes the husk, is that something we can attempt to roll on there, Volt Imp?
I mean, it's not likely, but I'm,
Shot in the dark.
Yeah. So Hybrid's character as a whisperer, dealing with the occult, that's something that you could try to do is commune with the dead. Through your attune ability, that's one of the things that attune does.
Okay,
Yeah,
so she wouldn't need us to identify the body if she has that, right?
It would help. Like she'd get a bonus die if you guys want to kind of
I
put
would
that
know
effort in.
who's
I'll put that
sole
effort in.
contact.
I'll be that helping hand.
Okay, how do you want to try to identify the body?
Would a study roll help in this case? Just like the features of the body or anything like that?
Yeah, so what we can do is we can kind of use a flashback to while you guys were in the room talking, and you, like as you were communicating with him, kind of walking around talking about this job, you were studying the body, trying to memorize the face and see if it's somebody that you can describe later and recognize. So go ahead and give me a study roll for that.
Okay. This is controlled.
It is. It's a little risky. You don't really want him kind of noticing that you're studying.
So it's just like very like nonchalant, or trying to be as nonchalant as possible as I'm walking by.
Right. It's
Okay.
still a standard effect.
Okay.
You can push yourself if you want, or you can take a devil's bargain.
No, I'm just gonna do the shot in the dark type thing.
Okay. So yeah, 2. All right. So what happens there is he actually calls you out on it during your actually, I'll take that back. He doesn't call you out on it. During your conversation with him in regards to the details of the job, he looks at you for a moment, notices that you're kind of studying the husk, and straightens up and turns over the blade of the razor, kind of offering it to you.
Okay.
And he says, do you need some release?
Not at this time.
He nods and he goes, okay. And he goes back to kind of his flaying. And you, unfortunately, you get to the creature, or the husk rather, and it's at the point where he's already like started to scalp the husk. And so the flap of skin is kind of laying over the face, obstructing it.
The good old skin flaps censoring the identity.
So no assistance to hybrid on the attune roll, unfortunately.
Sorry,
So-
there, Crow. He had a skin flap laying over his face when I tried to get a look at him.
All right.
We're all familiar with that problem. So
I hate when that happens.
just a follow-up question to the whole husk thing. It sounds like that they're a fairly common thing in this world or in this city. Is this something that maybe the city officials keep track of? Like, is there like a husk registry or something like that they keep so they know, where they are or who they were?
No, so husks become basically second-class citizens, even below kind of the homeless that are scattered throughout Duskwall, because they're used for stuff like menial labor that nobody really wants to do, or like it's more if economically viable to have husks like mined for coal, basically, kind of stuff like that, where they're given like jobs that nobody really wants to do. And,
Gotcha.
and they just kind of are around and sometimes become the playthings of the rich and whatnot.
Okay,
Alright.
so out of character, how does one become a husk? Like, what happens to you?
Let me find that. Hang on just a second. I can give you a quick rundown of that.
Okay.
Or excuse me, not a husk. It's a hull.
A hull. Okay.
H-U-L-L.
Husk makes more sense to me.
Let's see. Oh wait, I may be wrong. It may have actually been husk, and I may be just confusing terms here. Hang on. Let's see if I can find.
It's 2 games that Fox is in with husks.
Where the?
That's true.
I know these are. I can tell you like that physically. What it is it's a. It is a body without a spirit inhabiting it, and sometimes they become separated through. So if you, what you have with like a vampire is a living spirit occupying a dead body. So in the process of creating a vampire, it would leave behind a husk, because you now have this living spirit has been removed from this living body and is now occupying this dead body. So the process of creating a vampire leaves behind a husk. If if a person is exercised for some reason, it can leave behind a husk. If a ghost inhabits, like takes possession of a person, kicks the original spirit out, and then the original spirit is destroyed, or for whatever reason does not make it back to its original body, then it leaves behind a husk.
Oh, damn. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't because, he made them a husk, because then I'd be really pissed.
Right. No. Well, give me your attune and I'll see if I can give you some more information on that.
Alright, I'm just going to do a basic attune check.
Okay, you're not
'cause
gonna
I'm
push
under
yourself.
enough stress.
Okay.
No, I'm under enough stress. So, controlled?
No, I'm going to say risky, because anytime that you're dealing with the kind of spirit world and trying to get information out of it has a chance of drawing attention to you
Okay.
from the spirit world, which is not something you really want to do. So let's
Okay.
call it risky.
Okay.
And it's
Going standard?
Yeah, it's a standard effect.
Okay, and no bonus.
Rip
Oh my.
rolls. Rip rolls.
Good job, Mags. Good job.
So this is where this game gets fun. So that is a complete and utter botch of
botch.
that roll.
I was too busy thinking about Jesh's boots.
So you're no, actually, I did have a complication with you, and what was your friend's name? I have it written down.
Satara.
Satara, yeah. So while you're out, kind of you're trying to attune to the spirit realm, find out kind of the information that you can on this husk. Your spirit gets kind of pulled into kind of further into the spirit realm than you normally feel safe in going towards. And you spend more time there. Hang on, I'm trying to find something game mechanic wise that would fit. So give me just a second. Yeah, yes, it does. What am I looking for? I know what I'm looking for. I just have to find it. So what's going to happen is while you're kind of out looking for a information in the spirit realm, your body gets kind of voided of your spirit, basically. And so you come back to find it being assaulted by other spirits trying to work their way
Okay, it's not as bad as I thought.
into your body to take control of it from you, since your spirit is out kind of trying to find information on this husk. So needless to say, you get no information on the husk. And go ahead and give, let's see. How are you going to try to fight to get control of your body back from these things?
Kind of a big, loud, commanding. I'm probably going to use sway for this, but it's like, excuse me, that is mine!
Are you using sway or command? Sorry, you used the word commanding, so.
I don't have anything in command, so it feels like it wouldn't end well.
Okay, so you want to use sway and just kind of go, hey, this is mine, fuck off.
Yeah, or, well, command does... Yeah! Let's command it.
Okay.
I'm assuming risky.
I just have this image of Crow coming back to her body, and it's up on blocks.
No, I think this is going to be desperate, because if you
Yeah.
doesn't go well for you, then this may end poorly. So let's call it desperate. Do you want to push yourself or take a devil's bargain?
Might as well take a devil's bargain with this.
All right, so I think the devil's bargain for this one is going to be that you make a deal with whatever spirit it is, and you now owe it a favor.
Yep. I can do that.
Okay.
So, effect, standard, limited, rate.
Effect is standard.
Oh, whoops, standard, okay. And we're going to get one extra bonus die.
You want to push yourself for 2 bonus dice?
Sure, let's add some stress. God
Okay.
damn it. It's like, excuse me! Fuck off, that is mine!
It's a pretty stressful interaction, so. Hey,
5 and 4.
5 and a 4.
That is mine!
So you kind of make a big scene and a big stink about it, and luckily the spirits that you're dealing with haven't been out of their bodies long enough to have gone murderous and insane yet. And really it's only a couple of them, because you guys are inside of the lightning barrier, so the number of spirits there is pretty low. So you were able to make a deal with the spirit saying that you will do it a favor, and it nods and basically kind of communicates and says, I will ask when the time is right for that favor. And you're able to get back into your body. Because it is a desperate roll, you actually get XP for that. So what you do is you put
Let me grab some stress. There we go.
You put a dot of XP into your this was command, so into your resolve tracker. So like click another flag there.
Yee. Oh well, I get one more and then I get another dot.
Hey. All right. So you didn't get any information on the husk, but you did get your body back. So what are you guys where are you going from there? Actually, I guess, are you going to tell everybody about your encounter?
No, I'm just gonna come out of my room like I had a really bad experience.
Had
Y'all
the
leave
worst
me
day.
alone, closing the doors to my little corner and just like go away.
Today has just been the worst. She's like curled up with a bottle of wine somewhere.
Rolling a pair of dice, just pretending I'm gambling because it's all I've got now.
A bottle of wine
So-
and like I lost where I was going to go with that. Never mind.
While she was having possibly the worst day ever, I assume that's when Gunnar was heading back to see Volette, see if he could get
Yeah,
more
Volette.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's. Were you was?
Did Aelin want to join or?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I'll join.
Sweet.
That's what it was. It was a bottle of wine and like a tub of ice cream. That's what I was trying to think of.
Just mix it into one bowl. Just nom, nom, nom.
Wine flavored ice cream.
Yes.
Oh, sounds terrible.
That sounds disgusting and
does.
wonderful at the same time.
Ugh. All right.
Ugh.
So you guys are going to go back and see Valette while she was trying to kind of get information on the husk. And Valette actually really likes Gunnar. She got to spend time with Gunnar sober, and it's the first time that she's had some company in the Lotus Den that's sober in quite a while.
Yeah, go me. I'm just
so-
awesome.
So she actually like is happy to see you, and so when you guys kind of walk in, she actually her demeanor changes and you see her kind of perk up and she actually like calls you back to her desk. She's like, "Back here, Gunnar."
I'm also going to make a note not to cover my face when we walk in this time.
Okay. And
Same.
all right.
Just walk straight back to her office area. Kind of scanning the room over though to see if there's any kind of recognizable faces in the crowds of people there. Because Vincent does frequent this place every now and then, but he doesn't get too, too messed up. So.
She actually, from the first time you guys met, said she delivers to Vincent.
Oh,
So
she
he
delivers? Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't come here.
Okay.
But give me a study roll anyway. See if there is anybody that you happen to recognize.
All right, let's go survey. This is going to be controlled. I'm not going to take a effect or
That's standard effect.
bonus die.
Okay.
4.
So there are faces that you recognize from your time here before when you kind of hung out with Valette for the last job, but nobody that really kind of is pertinent.
Stands
to you.
out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So, I go ahead and pull up a seat at her desk and ask her about her deliveries to Vincent and if it's kind of like a standard thing or a usual thing and how much business she's actually done with him personally other than just the Black Lotus.
She nods and she says, "Well, usually it's about 1 or 2." Trying to think of what kind of measurement you would measure Black Lotus in. 1 or 2 packages a month, which a package is. Let's count a package as like 1 hit. So she says it's about 1 or 2 packages a month, and he seems to have a good control on it, unlike most of the people here. But because he is who he is, we make exceptions and deliver to him. She says, sorry, I just realized Black Lotus was an old magic card, and now I'm like, it gives him 3 mana. Or whatever. I think that's what it was. I
Yeah,
don't remember.
3 black mana.
Yeah.
3 black mana to the mana pool.
And she says, so he seems to have a fairly good grip on it. From my understanding, he is more involved with the church than a lot of people get. And he doesn't necessarily hide that fact, but it's not all that uncommon either. He seems just ambitious is the impression that I get from him.
Okay. And has she ever sent any other crews to do work for him?
No, he's just come of age to really want to prove himself. I think he's come. He doesn't come in person. He we make deliveries for him because he's more of a discreet client. But I have made those deliveries myself to make sure that everything is on the up and up before I send my people to him. And he seems to be just a very ambitious young man. I think this is his first foyer into the larger world of Duskwall and getting his fingers wet.
Ask her when she made the deliveries if she went to the basement cellar.
I left the packages after the first couple of meetings with Vincent were in his home in the foyer. After that, they get left with the guards.
Okay.
What do you know of his parents, Vivian and Duncan? You know that Vincent himself is part of this religion, but what about them? Do they have any sort of status within it, or are they just not a part of it at all?
Well, they come to services, but they aren't as fanatic as the rumors about Vincent are. Some folks within the and this is not her talking. This is me kind of explaining. Some folks within the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh are the equivalent of Easter Christians. They show up and they do it on special holidays. Some folks are the we're there and we're balancing our checkbooks. And then some folks are really into it, and then you have fanatics. And so the way she describes it is that they show up for sermons and services on a fairly regular basis, but you get the impression that they're just there to kind of show off the new clothes that they're wearing or to make an appearance.
Gotcha.
One of those rare occasions that they actually go out.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the only reasons that they actually leave the Rowan house. I should probably... Sorry, I should be doing this in character, but anyway.
Just
Speaking...
pretend that you are.
Right? Just having a nice chat. So speaking of the two houses here, what does she know about the Skurlocks and like their goals or what they're wanting to do with the city? How's that balance of power like maintained between the two houses? I guess.
Give me a sway, because you're now getting into like an area where she would kind of be questioning why you're asking that.
Controlled though, correct? Because we are familiar with each other.
And sorry, you don't have to use sway. If you want to use command, you've got to get the information out of her though. Tell me how you're doing that. I have to
wouldn't necessarily be like command, would it?
That's up to you. I have to get used to like letting you tell me what you're rolling. I'm used to going, hey, roll me a perception check, and that's not how this works. Azrin, we've been going for an hour and 50 minutes. So tell me what you're using. I have to get used to like asking you.
I would prefer to use command because I have a point in that. Though it would be like in real life, it would actually be like a sway. Like I'm trying to get this information for me.
Okay, we'll use this way. I mean, you can always like push yourself for better dice or take a devil's bargain or something.
What would the devil's bargain be?
All right, so you're asking her for more information.
Something that she's not quite comfortable with either.
She doesn't really have context for, so she's gonna ask why. Like you're gonna need to give her information on the job, basically, which is probably give you guys a point of heat later on.
What's our heat? We're at 1 heat right now, correct?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I think we're at 0.
I tried, but I failed.
Oh, okay.
Because I could have paid him off, but I wanted to just see if he could, be a bro. But he didn't have that power.
Gotcha.
I think we could do 1 heat. All right, so controlled, standard.
Guys.
What?
What's up?
We're assassins with morals. God damn
I know.
The worst assassins.
Right.
I was wondering when you
Hey.
guys were gonna realize that. Like,
Hey, just because you're an assassin doesn't mean you don't act by some sort of code.
stupid,
we have
awful, evil.
standards. They're low, but they're standards.
I mean, we may stab you, but if it's gonna, lead
You
into
have to
the,
burn it.
the downfall of the city, we may not stab you.
Stupid lawful.
Well, yeah,
evil.
because if the city falls, then who says
gonna
we're
do
going to have the
business with
opportunity?
us?
Exactly.
Exactly. You got to keep it. I'm still looking at how we can get paid by not killing one of these people, but apparently making it seem like we killed them. So I'm just saying.
All right, so you talk to her and try to get her to give you some information on.
Did I only get one die on that? I thought I did bonus die for Devil's Bargain.
Do you have 0 in sway normally?
Yeah.
So the way that works is instead of rolling 2 and taking the lowest one, you rolled the bonus dice. So you only actually have 1 dice.
Okay.
So she says, well, I could tell you, but that kind of information costs money. Even
So
though
you
we're
got one.
friends.
We got one heat.
Yeah, because you're going to tell her kind of why you want the information.
And then we have to pay for it too.
Yeah, and so now she's got you kind of like, all right, well, now that I know why you want the information, that information is valuable.
I look over at Aelin and see what his opinion is.
I'm all for paying her, because even if it costs us all the coin that we currently have, I do not want to be in a situation where this guy knows what we're up to, and I also don't want to be in a situation where we're stuck having to do his job for him.
Agreed. So with Aelin's approval, I nod my head yes and ask, what'll that run me?
She thinks and she says, well, we're friends, right?
Yeah, I say of course.
So I'll give you a friend price for information. Let's call it a coin. -0, he doesn't have a cam on because he's a scrub who has yet to hook his up.
I can always come over and do it for you since you're so busy.
Why does HP Fox have cam? Okay,
Yeah, I'm
I
trying to
say
figure out why
that's
my
more than
camera
fair.
is so blurry.
So you're gonna give her a coin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if this fixes it.
All right. So are you taking that out of the crew stash or out of your personal stash?
Really?
I don't have any on my personal stash, do I?
I don't know. Do you? Let's see.
Don't believe so.
Oops.
So we had 3 coin from our
Your
when
last
we
job.
ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent 1 upgrading the tower. So yeah, this will leave us at 1 if we do career stash. I'm sure the crew will understand.
Okay. So let me drop that on HP Fox's character sheet, and I'll update everybody's later. Okay. All right. So you pay her a coin, and she takes it and kind of tosses the bag of money in her hand as she begins to like think and talk. And she says, "Well, House Skurlock. There's only one member of House Skurlock still in town, which I'm sure you're aware of, and that would be Orlin. And Orlin is here so that House Skurlock can still claim residence within Duskwall, leaving them as a legitimate family. Since the remainder of House Skurlock has moved out to the Deadlands to strike out on their own and make a name for themselves that way. But Orlin isn't just any left behind absentee landlord.
What the hell happened to my camera?
Rip. She says Orland is himself a very renowned and well-to-do duelist. He favors pistols and firearms, and has used that money and fame that came with it to set up his own little enterprise here within Duskwall. He pays off the Blue Guards to give him security, and He oversees the trade of demon blood as it comes in from the Leviathan hunters that are under his family's employ. And it is said that he has powerful advisors that help him predict the turning of the tide, as it were.
I say thank you for that information. Is he known for like any kind of like eccentric religious practices or anything like that, or?
No, Orland is he goes to services for the ecstasy of the flesh, but generally only for the major holidays. He's not one that shows up all the time. He dresses very mildly and usually maintains the docks and assisting with the shipments of demon blood himself.
Okay. I'll look at Aelin if there's anything else to ask. And
So it sounds like this Orland fellow actually does a lot to support the economy of the city. Does he have any known like plans for the city, or is he just happy to maintain and ride the wave that it's on right now?
She says, "Oh no, don't misunderstand. The money that he brings in goes right back out to his family in the Deadlands. Establishing a stronghold in the middle of the Deadlands is not a easy or cheap task."
Well, naturally, but any sort of merchant activity or people coming to and from the city does help the economy in some way.
I suppose when ships come to port, the crew may spend coin, but he doesn't do anything directly to help the city.
So does he have a known interest in the city itself, or his family at all? Have any desire for the city, or are they just simply here to use it for what it's worth so they can establish themselves outside of it?
For the family Skurlock, they simply use the city to make their money.
Okay, I can get behind that. I mean, that's essentially what we're doing. So,
Word has it, once the stronghold is complete, that that maybe they try to come back with whatever newfound technologies or monies they may have out there in the wildland or in the Deadlands, and reclaim their place in the city. But as for right now, they simply use this as a port more than anything else.
all right, I think we've heard, or at least I've heard, everything that I need to make a solid decision.
I'd ask her what her personal opinion is of how the city's currently being ran with the balance between the two houses.
She says, I tend to stay out of house politics and try to run on my own without letting them affect me too much. But as far as contributions to Six Towers go, if I had to choose a family that I wanted its hands to be in, and she leans forward and kind of whispers this across the desk to you. She said, we could do without the Surlocks. I believe that that the Rowan House would actually be better because they put the effort into the city. Whereas the Skurlocks merely maintain a residence here.
Okay. I think that's everything I needed to know.
All right. With that, I think we'll take another quick 5-minute break. Thank you guys for hanging out and watching us. We appreciate it. And we're going to get up, stretch, walk around. I'm going to go fill my drink back up. And we will be right back. As soon as I find my volume mixer. I keep closing it. I really just need to leave it open so I can adjust the volume between Skype and Chrome. Professional stream, folks. I promise. All right, be right back.
The most professional of streams.
And we are back.
Hello.
Break.
Hello.
Everybody enjoy the break. Is it everything you wanted it to be?
It was more than I could ever ask for.
Good.
I made a fat puppy sit pretty. I'm doing good.
I mean, if the food was delivered to us, that would have been even better.
I've so folks that are doing the dungeons, especially ones that have been here for a while, I raised the cap from Dungeon XP from 10K to I don't even know what number I put it at. It looks like 1 billion.
So
Could be
you're
wrong.
telling me I can go all in now.
You can. I could probably go all in at this point with my ridiculous amount of XP, but I think it does reset your standing too, so all the way back down to domesticated owlbear, which is one of my favorite things.
That's fine. I'm a little tired of being a lich anyway.
So you guys got information on Orlin. You got some information on your employer as well, a little bit. Hybrid had a fight with some spirits and now owes somebody a favor. So I guess we'll probably come back to the lair with you four kind of around your table, your plotting table, where you're kind of discussing the information that you guys found. And we'll just begin on that conversation, I think. So what are you guys thinking after gathering all this information?
I would pass off the information that the rest of the Rowan house isn't necessarily as fanatic as
Their son.
Vincent seems, and that overall for the target, that the target is basically looking for using the city to make money, and like I'm personally okay with that, but I like the last thing I would want is like a fanatic to actually overrun and to rule the city.
Yeah.
He was making up money off of the city. How? Is he just a legitimate businessman?
Yeah, doing business. He also is pretty renowned to be a pistol duelist, and with that, his family's wealth, but mainly dealing with demon's blood trade. And I give Crow a look to see her thoughts on that. What would Crow know about demon's blood and what it's used for?
So, in Blades in the Dark, demon's blood is essentially like, if you think back to the Industrial Revolutionary era, it's the equivalent of like whale fat or whale oil.
Okay.
But to go get it, you have to have huge ships because it's literally demon blood. There are demons that live in the bottom of like the inky sea outside of Duskwall. And so you have these huge ships called Leviathan Hunters that are geared with like just massive harpoons and other devices that are used to trap and extract the demon blood.
So being a former pirate, that's something that I would probably be fairly familiar with.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's a legitimate business. Like it's how the electricity for the lightning wall gets powered, how the electricity for all the houses gets powered, stuff like that.
All right, cool. So yes, pretty legitimate.
So we're all still in agreement that Vincent is the worst of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. His parents, we have no reason to believe that they're anything like him. From what we've been told, they just seem like average people. But he has some aspirations and beliefs that I think could be very detrimental to the city if he got any real power.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's
This is awful evil.
what's to stop us from just, I mean, aside from the loss of the coin, just putting a stop to him.
Favor.
The fact that I want to get paid.
Well, that too. But
I mean, I'm not going to argue that 15 coin is a lot of money.
From the
5 coin
sounds
is
of
a
it,
lot of money.
there's a possibility that the Skurlock family may return to the city in the future. I mean, nobody really knows. But if we have favor with Orland, and that happens, and they bring with them some sort of, new powerful technology, I think it would be just smart to be on their good side.
Good point. So how do we go about this? Are we still going to go and kidnap Una?
I think that's the easiest one.
Yeah.
So how do we do this?
We prepare. we track her. We say where she kind of goes to, and find a way to.
So we're gonna stalk her. Yay!
Okay. So you guys are tracking down Una.
Una.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you want to start? You can kind of, I guess you guys can give me ideas on where you'd like to start, and I can kind of throw ideas out at you guys too, if you want.
I would probably start at Orland's, house, place of residence, the tower, where they're most frequently found. But the only hitch is, do we know what Una looks like?
Well, you don't. She didn't. You didn't get a description from Vincent.
Okay, so in that case, since the Skurlock family kind of has the blue coats in their pocket, maybe I could go to my buddy Darmit, since he's a blue coat, and see if he has a description that he could give me, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, that's definitely an option. So you want to go track down your buddy and kind of talk to him about it. Is anybody else working any other angles, or is anybody going with Aelin to talk?
My only contact is a guy who patches people up. So.
My contact is a guy who robs dead bodies.
All right.
I'll tag along.
You gonna tag along with him? Okay.
Yeah, might as well.
So is Aelin just kind of walking into the precinct to talk to her buddy, or how's doing that? How's Aelin doing that?
Waiting outside for him. Like, I would assume I have a general idea of his, like, patrol shifts and stuff. So just kind of waiting outside with him, and when he comes out, just walking with him.
Okay. All right, so you guys hang outside of the precinct for a little bit, and you're just kind of standing around, trying to look nonchalant. And eventually your buddy does come out, and he kind of sees you, waves a hand. You guys are on pretty good terms. So even as a blue coat, he waves a hand at you, kind of rushes across the street, says, "Hey, it's been a little bit. What's going on?"
We've got a little bit of a job that we're not too comfortable with, and we're hoping that maybe you could help us with a little information. Friend to friend. It's nothing that's going to get you in any kind of trouble. We're just looking for somebody that can maybe put us in a more comfortable position. And you may happen to know who this somebody is.
This is a job, huh? What kind of job are you doing?
It's just a little thing for the Rowan family, just typical high house, crap.
It
Doesn't matter too much.
Yeah. The Rollins have their fingers all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
We're looking for somebody named Una. Apparently, they work for the Skurlock family, and we just wanted to have a little bit of a chat with them. But when we were asked to do this, we weren't given a description. But we do know that you Bluecoats happen to work with the Skurlock family, so we're hoping that you could let us know what she looks like, or he looks like, it looks like, so we could actually find this person.
He says, Una, I don't do any work directly with the Skurlocks. Aldo, our captain, our precinct captain, has done some work though. Una. It's like I did run into an Una at the apothecary a few weeks ago, just making my rounds, and she seemed to have a pretty heavy load with her. That may be who you're looking for. That's the only Una that I've run into, though.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty unique name. I wouldn't think that there would be more than one in this small area of the city. Any idea or any chance you got a good idea of what she looks like? Can give me a rough description or something?
She was wearing a maroon cowl, so I didn't get a good look at her face. But she was at the Quill and Serpent apothecary. Maybe she frequents it?
You know what? That's good enough. Gives us a place to start, at least.
I might nudge over to Aelin and mention that another person is Aldo, which is the Stude's captain as well, that we could possibly utilize to relay a message to the Skurlocks.
That is certainly true.
And maybe we can get some information for Aldo.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so I'll turn back to Darmit and say you mentioned your captain. Aldo was his name?
Yeah.
Is he how do I put it? Approachable?
Approachable is not a word I would use. Aldo spent some time on the Leviathan hunters before becoming a blue coat, and has seen some things, apparently. He doesn't talk about them, but when the Leviathan crews come back and they get that stare, he's got that stare. And what he's kind of referring to is just the blank, like, I've seen some shit that I don't really want to talk about stares.
Yeah.
So, kind of what he's referring to.
I'd ask
I just
if,
saw my puppy get run over stare.
I just saw 15 puppies get run over by a steamroller or a whatever those things are called, stairs.
Zamboni.
Yeah,
An escalator?
An escalator? Jesus.
I would ask if he partakes of the Black Lotus. Because that's a pretty common one for people with the whole.
Yeah, Black Lotus is more for like physical trauma. There's something else though that Follette deals in, Dream Smoke.
For like the Dream Smoke for PTSD.
Yeah. So not Aldo, sorry. Damn it, HP Fox, what is your contact's name? I have it written down, but it's on the other page.
Darmit.
Darmit looks you up and down, or looks Gunner up and down for a minute and turns back to Aelin and kind of nods. Is like, is he on the up and up?
Yeah. I guess I never. How rude of me! I never did introductions. Darmit, this is Gunner. He's Gunner. And this is Darmit, a buddy from mine from when we sailed the high seas.
He,
I give him once over and just like nod my head to him.
yeah, he nods back. He's like, all right, well, if he's working with you, why did he become Irish all of a sudden? It's like, if he's working with you, then he's fine, I suppose. So Aldo doesn't particularly partake in the Black Lotus, but the Dream Smoke, he has the scent about him occasionally.
I just nod and say thanks.
He's sure he usually has it when he comes back from a late night. He always comes in looking disheveled and smelling of it.
All right. Well, we have a place to start with Una. So I'm just gonna give Darmit a nudge and be like, if we turn up empty-handed looking for Una, I might be back, and maybe you could help us have a chance meeting with Aldo, perhaps.
Sure. I can see what I can arrange for you.
All right, so I'll just give him a pat on the back and a wave goodbye and head back to our lair.
Okay. Was anybody hybrid? Was Crow or Chesh? Were you guys doing anything while they were out?
I'm not really sure exactly what I can add into this investigation unless I'm like going to start snooping around into a family's business, which will most likely draw attention. So I'm going to see where the blue coat information leads us to.
Okay. Hybrid? Or was Crow wanting to do anything while they were out, kind of trying to track down Una?
I almost lost my soul once. I ain't doing it again.
I'm
Okay.
like I'm doing like a ceremonial burning for the clothes that I had to put out of their misery after going into that kill room.
Okay.
Is there any other place to get Dream Smoke other than?
Not in Six Towers. That is Volette, and this probably came up in your conversation with her as you were hanging out there. Volette runs most of Six Towers drug trade. Like everything kind of passes through her fingers there. And she brags about it openly because she is trying to kind of expand that, and she wants people to know that if they're doing anything in Six Towers, that it came from her. So no, she was very like, hey, this, if you hear about this, it comes from me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys are going back to the lair to kind of share the information you found?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll kind of cut back in. You guys are all around your table, plotting and talking a la Ocean's 11. What do you say?
So I'm just letting them know the rough description of her that I was given, and the location that she was seen and possibly frequents, and maybe suggest to Chesh that he should ask the owner of the place, since I'm trash at talking to people. It would probably be not good for me to do that.
You want me to get in contact with Stasia?
Yes.
First, I have to burn my clothes, and now I have to talk to somebody who's constantly trying to get me to change my ways.
So you're on board then?
This must be what hell feels like.
Do you want me to go with you? I'll hold your hand and be there for emotional support.
She would more than likely call the authorities on us at that time.
But we aren't going to be killing somebody, so she would probably be more inclined to help you, since we aren't actually going to be killing her.
It's true. We are
This
trying to
while
prevent
this
the
is
deaths
true-
of 3 people.
While this is true, she may try to see this as me trying to change my ways, and I'll do it because damn it, like you, I don't want this city turning into a bunch of skinned people.
It's a good enough reason.
But you all owe me. And I swear to God, if she calls the coats on me again like the last time.
What happened last time?
I stopped by to say hi.
Well, look at it
You
this way.
You remember a couple jobs back when we almost ran into that small patrolling group? That was her because she caught wind of what I was doing.
Just look at it this way. If you get arrested, that's just the perfect reason for us to go in and maybe bump into Aldo and question him.
I'm liking this plan less and less.
Mm-hmm.
I swear. I may be taking a bigger cut of the pay if I get arrested. Let's just say that. But fine. I'm not going to hit up her shop, though. I'll go to her place of residence.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna send up red flags.
We have a history together. If she sees it more as, if she sees it as more of a personal call, maybe she'll be less inclined to call the authorities or give me a verbal lashing on why this profession is no longer the correct path for me. So, yep, that's what I'll do, Imp.
Okay, so you're going to talk to your spy contact, right?
No,
Okay.
Stasi is my rival.
A rival, yeah. Contact rival. You guys have a rapport
Yeah.
at least.
Well, yeah, she was my former partner who
Yeah.
changed her ways and went straight.
So you walk up to kind of where Stasia is currently residing, and it's actually a pretty well taken care of townhouse in Six Towers, in the better part of kind of the neighborhood, further away from the lightning towers, so that like every time it crackles, it doesn't light up the windows, and it's actually kind of maintained. There's nobody sleeping in like doorways or anything here. And you knock on the door, and she answers and just kind of leans into the door frame, and she says, "Oh, finally decided that to change your ways, have you?"
Hello to you too. Well, not necessarily, but if truth be told, I haven't killed anybody in about 2 months, so maybe I'm heading down that path. But there is something I can use your help on.
She raises an eyebrow and she says, 2 months. So Thorn wasn't you?
Nope, that wasn't me.
She says, I'm sure you weren't involved. Anyway, come in.
It's like, Scout's honor, I didn't touch the man.
Mm-hmm. And she kind of leads you guys into the foyer of her house, which is decorated fairly... Hello.
Sorry, my phone's got the best timing.
It's decorated fairly nicely. She's got kind of some overstuffed chairs and a fireplace there in the foyer. And tea is kind of set out for 3 on the table. And she says, so what have you gotten yourself into?
Always with that accusation. I honestly haven't gotten myself into anything. Just
He
came
was in a
across...
pantry the whole time.
This is true. I was in a pantry. I may have gotten my hands on some spice, but that was about it.
It was the closet.
Pantry. We
Just don't get the arm.
well, honestly looking to maybe help someone, if not save them.
Go on, I'm listening.
Do you know somebody by the name of Una? Somebody I was told frequents your shop.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Do you know what they look like?
Sure.
Can you tell me what they look like?
Absolutely.
Okay, as we're talking, I noticed that you said that there is a table set out for 3.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're talking, I'm like slowly scanning the room, trying to see if like there's anyone else listening in on this conversation.
All right. How are you? What are you using to do that?
I'm gonna use study.
Okay. So you're just studying the room and like kind of going
Yeah.
around and okay. Yeah, go for it.
Well, yeah, she knows me enough to know that I always study my surroundings, so it shouldn't be anything unusual to her.
All right. So the surroundings look like she was expecting two visitors. So there's 2 cups of tea, or 3 cups of tea placed out. There's 3 chairs around the table. She's sitting in one of them, and the sugar bowl is kind of placed on the table beside the kettle. All of it kind of a semicircle around the table. Well, not really a semicircle. She's got her chair on one side, and then the other 2 are across the table from where she's sitting. So you don't see that there's anybody else in the room. It just looks like that she was prepared for you and Aelin to come for the visit. Which really isn't surprising to you. She's normally these are
In
the
the
kind
know.
of these are the kind of things that she knows.
Keeping tabs on me again?
Oh, I like to be prepared for my visitors, she says as you're like walking around looking around the room.
Yeah. Well, seeing as she says that, I take that as an invitation and I sit down across from her.
Okay. She kind of motions a hand from Aelin to the empty chair. She says, "Please have a seat."
And I'll quietly do so, and I'll let down my hood as well while I'm doing that.
She says, "Now, Una is who you're asking about."
Una, yes.
So you've gotten mixed in with the houses then.
You know, that was one of your more charming and sometimes troublesome attributes, Staz. You always had your nose in everything.
Of course, I can't do my job right if I don't know what's going on in the city. Come now. She says, "So, let me think. You have been asked to work against House Gerlach, if you're asking about Una. By, obviously, someone in the Rowan house. Am I right on?"
I give out like just an affirmative sigh.
Okay. So, you're looking for Una to what exactly? Fulfill your obligations for your employer?
I shake my head.
Betraying your employer it is then. Why did I just go into Yoda mode there? So you're planning to betray your employer. Interesting. Okay. Why?
Let's just say it doesn't feel right.
Okay. So what are your plans for Una then?
Truth be told, talk.
Okay. About?
You know I can't. You know I can't tell you that.
Oh, come now. I'm going to find out anyway.
I look over to Fox and see what he's doing.
I'm just giving Chesh like a raised eyebrow, like you're telling her way too much.
If you want, you can try to avert and change the subject a little bit and use a sway to like kind of move her on off of that.
I think that might be very detrimental to us if I try that.
Well, I'm saying Rojan can try that.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you want to
No.
like change the
Yeah,
direction the
that's-
conversation's going.
Fox has no people skills.
Okay. I can try to do that.
Okay. And you can take some stress and take a bonus dice, take a devil's bargain, or because Aylin's there with you, Aylin can take 1 stress and you can take a bonus dice from trying to help you out. So you can do up to 2 of those things.
I think we can do. I think I could push myself.
Okay. So you take 2 stress from it.
Yeah.
All right. And in this situation, you're really trying to get her off of something that is pretty sensitive material for you guys as a crew. So this is a pretty desperate turn of conversation here.
Okay.
It's a standard effect.
And I get 1 bonus die.
1 bonus dice, yep.
All right. So, never being the one to like be able to hide anything from her in the past that's why I'm taking the stress. As I take a sip of the tea, and out of just pure desperation, I just like, new set.
Okay.
ooh.
Yeah, right. Like that
She
was gonna
goes,
work.
she tilts her head to the side and she goes, no, and your observation skills have apparently decreased. I've had this set for quite a while. Now back to your job. And what's going to happen there is you guys are going to take a point of heat because somebody else is obviously finding out about the details of your job when we get finished. So she says, what? Yeah, DM lost the thread of the conversation.
There we go.
It worked.
So she says, so you're betraying someone at the Rowan house then. And you need to talk to Una to what? Get a message to Orlin?
God damn you, Staz.
So that's a yes. And she says, okay. But you meet Una here. And by you, I mean yourself and the people you're working with. I want to meet them and put faces to names.
Why would you need that?
Oh, because it's embarrassing for you.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me. Is it that it's embarrassing for me, or is it the next time you want to play one of your little games with me and send the codes after me, you send it after the rest of the group too?
She sits back with her cup of tea and she takes a slow sip on it and she says, let's call it both.
God damn it.
Can we kill her?
Fine.
She says, perfect. Tomorrow night, let's call it 9. And I will have tea ready for, let's see, 5, 6, 6.
Six.
Now I want to hear how
As Fox leaves.
Rip
He just
HP
disconnected.
Fox.
Rip Fox.
Rage quit.
Rip camera alignment.
No, his
He
icon's
goes,
still there.
I look at her and I have your word. You're not setting me up for anything.
No.
This
not
is
this
something
time.
that's important.
She says, "This time it sounds like you're on the right end of things, and I won't set you up for anything. This time, maybe everything is. Wow, I can't click the right scenes tonight. Hold on. There we go. She says, "This time everything is on the up and up. I promise. I'm not setting you up for anything. You seem to be going the correct path." Yeah, HP Fox just said his Skype died. He will be right back. We're still here. We're just rip camera alignment when he's when it's gone. So we're waiting on him to rejoin us. And actually, why don't we go ahead and we'll take our break now that we were going to take in 15 minutes anyway. We'll give him a few minutes to get back in the call. And we will pick everything back up. You folks that are watching, thank you guys for hanging out with us and watching. We appreciate it. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. And HP Fox, he comes back at the worst possible time. We're gonna take our quick 5-minute break, and then we will pick back up with the folks meeting up with Una here at Chesh's friend in heavy quotation marks house. So give us about 5 minutes, and we will be right back.
Or the moment I saw it die, I unmuted the stream, so I still heard everything that happened.
And we are back. Welcome back, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hello.
my mom is 5'4", Max. So
That's okay. She could just take you out at the knees.
So we are back. You guys we got about a half hour left tonight. So I'm going to try to end this on time and not go over like last week. So do we want to stop here and kind of talk about a game and how you guys are enjoying it, or do we want to play the scene out?
I think we
When
should
they
play
were-
the scene out.
Okay.
Let's do this.
When they were doing that, could I hang out over at Vallette's and see if Aldo was there? Or where are we right now? Two are over at Rojan's partners, like rivals place, right?
Yep. Yeah, I don't think you were anywhere during that time. I think that you had wanted to go talk to Valette, but I don't think we had actually gotten to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we can play that scene out real quick. So you get to Vallette's, and it's the same kind of atmosphere it normally is. Everybody's kind of passed out on pillows. And she's actually pacing kind of in her room or in her office behind her desk as you walk in. And she sees you come in, and a smile just kind of lights up on her face. She says, "Gunnar, it's a pleasure to see you as always. You might be just who I need."
Oh my.
I walk up, greet her. Said I'm glad to hear, and I also let her know that I have a little bit of business that I need her help with as well.
Perfect. Maybe we can help each other out. So
Sounds good.
I have a problem that you and your friends may have a special talent to deal with. Someone has been encroaching on my businesses. And in fact, as I was told as I dropped a delivery off at the Rowan house, that I would be no longer needed.
Okay.
And that my services had been rendered useless. And I need to find out why. Because the Rowans pay very, very well.
Even for just such small deliveries?
Well, the deliveries on top of the discretion, and discretion is expensive.
Okay. So she needs me to find her information.
Yes. Unfortunately, all that I have is that my services are no longer required by the Rowans. So it's not a lot to go on, unfortunately, but I'm sure that you and your creative friends can figure out a way to get the information.
I say, yeah, it's a definite possibility, but to do that, I need her to do me a favor first.
Absolutely. What can I help you out with?
If Aldo is there, I need a quick meeting with him to just sit down.
Aldo.
That's all I ask. No violence. No violence. Just
Sure.
a chance to talk to him.
So Aldo is not here, but he does come in for some dream smoke every time the Leviathan Hunters port. And there is a port scheduled in 2 days. So I expect him here like clockwork.
Okay. Isn't Aldo's the blue coat captain, correct?
He is.
Okay. So 2 days. Yeah. I would let her know that I'm not probably going to have all the information in regards to the Rowan business yet, but if she can set a meeting with him for him to just expect me so he's not scared next time he comes in, that I'll make it happen.
I will get a note to him and just I will clear a room for you to use here so that that you can just make it easy for him, and we will get the layabouts out of there, and you two can have your meeting here.
Okay. That works for me. ask her if there's anything else in terms of business or things that you'd like to talk about for.
Not at the moment, but depending on what comes of your findings with the Rowan family, I may have more work for you. We will need to verify the cause of their sudden disinterest.
Okay. Yeah, sounds great. So with that, I'll take my leave.
And she grabs you by the wrist as you start to leave. Not like she's just trying to get your attention. And she says, we should have a drink at some point. I would love the company.
She wants the date.
I said we'll see you in the
dog.
future after our business has been concluded.
She says, that sounds lovely. And then she just kind of lets you go. All right. Hybrid, were you wanting to do anything while Chesh and Aelin were at... I have them on the other page. I need to just turn the page of my notes. While they were at Stanzia's apartment.
The only thing I could really think of that she would be willing to do, I actually, with the coin that I had earlier, purchased a mask. It allows me to actually have a better attunement to the spirit world. The only problem is it's supposed to be grotesque and, it's disturbing for others to see, so she wouldn't use it often. With that in mind, probably would try to use that, since there's nobody else around at the moment, to use that as a guide rather than her spirit wandering off itself. Use that to commune and see what she can find out.
Okay. So you put your mask on and you kind of enter into your trance state to kind of do some more research. And the moment that you kind of slip into that state, your friend that needs a favor from you is just like right there. And he goes, I was hoping I would find you here. This is lovely and the timing works out perfectly. I need to call in that favor.
So soon?
Very soon. But I've been asked for favors by people that I owe favors to, and this particular favor, well, I can't really cannot do it myself, being as I can't. And he like waves his hand through your body, like can't touch things.
All right, but I think we need to set a couple of ground rules on what we're touching here.
It's your shoulder, don't worry.
No, I mean, like,
After in the tit.
what he's needing to do is like, okay, but as long as we're ground, it's like, I don't know you and the sort of things you like to touch, so I think we need to set some ground rules.
Okay. He's like, no, nothing like that. I just need a little favor. If you view it as adding another ghost to your network.
All right.
So there is this. How do I put this? There are these two people that have gotten in the way of someone I owe a favor to, and I need them removed. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Simple enough. Who am I going after?
Well, that's where this gets complicated. It's a husband and a wife, and it's the Rowans.
If anybody's home, you audibly heard a head hit a desk.
I like this.
And but the son is not to be touched, just the mom and the dad.
That's literally literally all she managed to utter is she's just choking on her spit like, really, dude?
It's like, or, I could just take your body and do it myself.
Son of a bitch. I will get back to you. I have to mull this over. I mean, the answer's not no. I gotta mull this one over. I'll be back. And I'm taking off my mask because I'm ending the conversation.
And as you take off the mask, there's a you've got an hourglass somewhere in your room that like turns itself over and begins to like drain out through the other side.
I thought you said you couldn't touch shit. Ah!
So you know that ghosts can affect little changes like that.
I know.
But, okay.
I know. I'm being facetious.
That's
with
fine.
them.
I just wanted to make sure that we were clear on mechanics.
Yes.
Ghost mechanics.
Ghost mechanics.
Ghost mechanics.
For your ghost car. For when the Ghostbusters car breaks down.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
All right, so that's everybody's scenes kind of played out. Do we want to move to the meeting with Stasia's house, or does anybody have anything they want to do before that?
Nothing in particular that I want to do.
Okay.
Do I have to meet her?
She said everyone.
But she doesn't know our names or faces.
She knows our names. I didn't say a word.
Could I send that our...
Rojan,
I
you know
might
that
actually
she
do
probably knows faces too.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll go.
She's that kind of person that she's gonna
Yeah.
know.
Wait, so she knows the faces too? She just wants to meet us in person?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's really
Okay,
more
okay.
doing it to embarrass Chesh than anything else.
Nice. Okay.
So, did anybody want to do anything before that meeting? You guys have a day. I think she said tomorrow at 9, so you have a day to take care of things
6.
if you need.
Tomorrow at 6.
Okay.
My business isn't
yeah, either way.
till 2 days. I'm meeting for Aldo.
Did Crow want to talk about
Yeah.
things?
Yeah. So
Actually,
guys.
I think what we'll do here instead, because we're creeping up on our 9:30, and what I do want to kind of talk how you guys are liking the game now that we've played a little bit longer session. So let's do our kind of our downtime activity for this session, and then we'll pick back up next time at some very interesting conversations, and we'll just count this day that you guys have here before the meeting with Una as some downtime, and we'll do it that way. Let me see what page that is on again. There we go. 48. Okay. So PC advancement, and I've got Panzer. You get extra XP for tracking and violence, and approaching challenges with tracking and violence. Did your character do any of that this time around?
Not really. I mean, there was a couple of surveys and a command. That was it.
Okay. You did some.
Who did we track? We didn't track anybody in this episode, did we?
No, you didn't track anybody. You kind of covered your tail though, and made sure you guys weren't being followed.
Mhm.
And I'll give you some XP for that. That feels like that kind of falls under tracking, even though it's not like the tracking skill. That's still something like making sure you're not being tracked.
Okay.
So I'm all right with you getting an XP for that. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background at all this session.
Trying to think, because it's mostly just the communication with Valette who would be not necessarily background.
Yeah, I
Is
think
she-
you can take her as a contact. Do we have a section on there for contacts or like?
Would it just be adding strange friends and adding her as now
Yeah.
a friend?
Yeah, add her as a friend on your sheet. You're in good standing with her.
Yeah, oh, yeah. She wants the Panzer D.
All right, and
Or
then-
there's two meetings with her.
okay.
So just
Go-
one.
Yeah, just put her as a friend, and then let's give you an XP for having her, and we'll count that as like part of your background
Okay.
now. Because you're definitely using her like you would a contact, like, hey, I need information, and you guys are starting to do each other favors and stuff. So,
I'm so glad you said favors.
You're right. Zing.
and then we have you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas. So you don't have any traumas yet.
Nope.
Your vice, you didn't go out drinking this time, so I don't think we have any XP from that one. Was there any downtime actions that you want to take? So you've got those 2 downtime actions.
Yeah.
Let me see what those were again.
I need to pull that up too for downtime.
145. So you've got payoff. So we didn't really get a payoff this time because of you guys haven't actually done a score yet. We do need to manage the heat that accumulated. So you guys got, I think it was 2 heat.
I think it was 2, yeah.
So increase that there. Entanglements, let me actually go ahead and roll for that real quick. But I'm not going to show chat so that it's a mystery for them as well when this happens. Where's the entangle? There it is. Heat level, you guys are at 3 still.
So we're still at the contained standard exposure level for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I can work with that. All right. And then we start to do downtime actions, which are so you can acquire an asset, like if you want to go out and buy something, or spend some coin. You can work on a long-term project. You can spend time to recover if you were injured. You can spend time reducing heat, training, or indulging in your vice to reduce your stress.
I only have 2 stress, so it's not really worth it to indulge. Could I do both of the points into training?
Yeah. What are you training up?
Would probably be survey, I would
Okay.
say.
And then don't
And-
forget you can put those into your playbook advancement too, to like earn more stuff from your Hound playbook.
Oh yeah, that's the special abilities, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna take the point right now, and then focus on that later.
Okay. So it's gonna go. So you were looking for, was it survey? So it's
Yeah,
gonna
survey.
actually go into your insight track at the top, and then when
Mhm.
that insight track is full, that's where you put another point into survey.
It would be full at this
Oh, okay.
point.
So with those 2, it's going to fill up, and so it's emptied out, and you've got another point in survey. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. So that is Panzer. So we've got Rojan. You get extra XP for technical skill or mayhem.
I
use
did
that
neither
at all?
of those tonight.
Okay.
I talked to a creepy guy and then talked to a former partner / lover / pain in my ass.
Okay. Expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think we did a lot of that with
The
Stanza.
clothes.
Yeah, and the clothes.
Yeah, Stasia and the clothes.
So go ahead and take 2 XP for that.
2 XP, and I just
Yeah.
put that anywhere.
Yeah, so if you put it in one of the tracks, or you can put it in your playbook advancement.
Gotcha.
And then the next one we have is going to be you struggled with issues from your vice or trauma. What your vice is? Yeah, you kind of did with your burning your clothes because they got all screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to give you a point of XP for that.
All right.
All right, and then we have your downtime activities. So it is again, I'm saying these out loud to help myself remember. Acquire an asset, long-term project, recover, reduce heat, train, or indulge in your vice. Defining mayhem, Azerin blowing shit up
Yeah.
is essentially what mayhem means there.
Yeah, Azarin, pretty much my role in this group is either breaking locks or blowing things up. I'm gonna say I'm gonna train.
Okay. You taking both downtime actions to train?
Yeah, I'm gonna take both downtime actions to train on this.
Okay. Where are you putting those?
I am going to. I'm actually going to put. Is it 2 points or 1 point?
It's 2 points XP. If you're spending both
XP?
actions. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put. Say. 1 in insight, and I'm going to put the other one in my playbook.
Okay. All right, HP Fox, we have XP for stealth and evasion.
I didn't really do any of that this time around.
Okay. Let's see. Then we have you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Would just all the decision making that led up to our ultimate, what will be betrayal of Vincent, count as expressing beliefs?
Sure.
We don't really want his fanatical beliefs running the city, so ours would kind of counter that.
Yeah, take an XP for that, and then you did kind of tap your background when you went and talked to Darmot, so take another XP for that.
All right.
And then you struggled with issues from vice or trauma. Your vice is not listed.
My
pleasure.
vice is
That's right.
pleasure. So
you didn't really do that one, I don't
No.
think. Okay.
not really.
All right. And then what are you doing for your downtime actions?
I'd like to take one of them to train.
Okay.
I think I'd like to do it in playbook advancement, but could I maybe, for that kind of training, maybe just kind of mess around with the ghost veil, see how long I can hold it, and can I take some points into stress because of that as well?
Yeah. If you want to train by like improving your ghost veil and then increasing your stress from that, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I will take the 1 point into advancement and then take the standard 2 stress from that.
Okay.
And now I think my stress is high enough that I can indulge in my vice to try and reduce it.
All right, that sounds good. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stress at the moment. So as long as you don't
Yeah.
roll a 6, then you're good. So just hit your indulge vice button and tell me kind of about your experiences at the or how you're indulging in that at the night market.
Okay, this actually plays into something that I asked everybody else on the break. I couldn't quite find it when we were in the middle of doing stuff. Is there any information on the areas of the city in the PDF that you gave us? Because social club is a pretty ambiguous term. It could literally be anything that a group of people are doing together. But since it's in the night market area of the city, I think that would probably kind of influence the type of social club that it is.
Yeah, so
depending on what happens around there.
if you're looking at the version 8 PDF, the big one, that's like a couple hundred pages long, it's on page 272. So the night market is a section of Duskwall that's really just kind of a commerce section, and it receives most of their goods through like cargo trains and stuff, bringing in like exotic and rare stuff into Duskwall. And it's really like kind of the where the social elite of the social elite go to shop. And so it's very like swanky, and everything is lit up with electric lights throughout the night. And they, instead of like getting dimmed down to save on electricity like the rest of the city, Night Markets is allowed to like keep theirs just kind of blaring because of the amount of money that they pull in.
Gotcha. Okay, so maybe I'm thinking this particular type of social club, or people that I hang out with in the social club, like to just kind of wander around the merchant area, kind of flaunting their status. So because I don't really have any status, I'm thinking maybe I pretend I do, and that's where my pleasure comes from. You know, acting like I'm a real somebody when I'm actually not.
Okay. Yeah, I can get behind that. All right, go ahead and
Awesome.
take your 4 stress down. All right, and those are your 2 actions there. And
Yep.
so we get to a hybrid with Whisper. So you get extra XP for knowledge or arcane power. You definitely had a little bit of that. Got a little friendly with the ghosts. So go ahead and give yourself 2 XP from that. Let's see, what else do we have here? You expressed your beliefs, heritage, or background? What do you think?
I don't really think so. I mean, other than just vehemently disagreeing with the fact that, you know, this guy's a douche nozzle. Other than that, really.
Okay. Struggled with issues from your vice or trauma. Your vice is gambling. I don't think we had any of that this time around. Okay. So let's see your downtime actions, and this is I'm slowly memorizing these. Acquire an asset, long-term project, recover, reduce heat, train, or indulge your vice.
I'm probably gonna need to indulge my vice because my stress is at 5.
Okay.
The other thing that I want to do is because apparently my character has been struggling with her ability to attune and not get lost off in the void. I think she's going to spend time training or meditating on that.
Okay. Your resolve track, looking at your sheet right now, is full, so you can
Yeah.
clear that and put a point somewhere.
I was going to add it to my attune.
Okay. And then now you can add an XP somewhere for your training if you're still working on it.
Oh, I already have. I put it
Okay.
in my I put it in my
You put it in
playbook
resolve.
advancement.
Okay. Okay. And then I'm guessing indulging your vice is the other thing. You're going to find a card game
Yeah.
somewhere? All right.
Yep. Go play blackjack because I'm good at counting cards.
Go for it.
All right,
And
here
I
we go.
should switch the scene real quick.
Any bonus die or not really?
No, I don't think for that one. Oh, HP Fox, we actually should have reduced yours by 3. Because you had 0 dice as your lowest.
Okay.
So instead of we had a 3. Alright, so you clear a stress.
Okay.
So apparently it was not a very good night for you guys for you at the tables. You just kept losing money. And you'd win it back and then you'd lose it again. And you'd win it back and you were losing it again. So you got a little bit of stress reduction from winning some of it back, but it really just was not a good night for you at the tables. Alright, so what do you guys that was their first full session of Blades in the Dark with some pretty major complications in there tonight. What are you guys thinking?
This game is awesome.
It really is.
Yeah.
Still really enjoying it?
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Good. I'm having a lot of fun with it because it lets me like, all right, I don't have to worry about making everything complicated, but when I have to make something complicated, I get to go, all right, what's the worst way I could make this complicated for them? Like, it's fun because I get to go, all right, now I get to figure out how to really just screw you guys over.
What I really like about this, and I think I slightly touched on it last time with the last game, is the storytelling in it. Like in standard D&D, it's the DM telling the story that involves the players, but in this, it feels like it's really the DM and the players telling the story together.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the reasons I've really like I got excited about this system when I was reading up on it back in January and February prepping for the game. Or not January, February. January and December prepping for the game. And I like that it feels much more like cooperative storytelling.
Yeah.
Than it does, hey, what did the dice say you did? Kind of thing.
Yeah, the same thing goes with the whole like feeling of it not being like a dungeon where basically like you gave us these 3 targets, we're gonna go to this one area, kill this thing, you know, clear the dungeon, get loot, and then come back. It's like, well, what if we don't want to necessarily kill them? How can we work around this and like benefit us more?
Yeah.
I mean, I also like the feel that, you know, if something goes horribly wrong, it's not just the DM's fault.
Right. I actually like you guys threw me off with kind of getting suspicious of Vincent. Like I was just figuring you guys were going to be all right, cool. He's giving us a whole shit ton of money. He's a little weird, but whatever. So the fact that you guys are like, I don't know if I trust this guy. What do we really want to do with the politics of the city kind of thing did throw me off. And I was like, all right, I got to think on my feet a little bit. So I enjoyed that, like actually, because I was like, all right, well, they're just going to take this and we're going to figure out what's going on with these targets. But instead, it's gotten a lot more complicated, which is I'm enjoying. It's fun storytelling.
I mean,
that
when a guy walks into the room with a giant sign that says "I am a bad guy" on it, and he starts carving someone up on the table, you know, it doesn't really send a good message to potential employees.
That's fair. You guys haven't had any dealings with the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh yet, so it was an interesting, like the what's the word? How am I trying to phrase this? The worst impression of that church that you could get just kind of right off the bat. So,
Right.
and it's definitely one of those, like in the setting, it's not an abnormal religion. Like a lot of people are just like, no, the spirit is weird and fucky and we want to celebrate life and but he takes that to an extreme and like celebrates the taking of life. And so it's yeah, it was definitely I didn't think that was going to impact you guys really at all. Thought, all right, you're just going to be a little weird, but whatever. And so it definitely kind of threw your characters for a loop, which I like. It's fun now that I have to go, all right, let me rethink how we were going to do this. Yeah, Azrin, it's the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh is the name of it. But yeah, this is quickly becoming a favorite of mine, like up there with 5th edition D&D, honestly. I'm really enjoying the setting. The setting is a lot of fun. I'm hoping that
Fields of our endeavors proliferate.
I'm gonna fuck this name up. Willateo. Thank you for the host. Appreciate it. But yeah, it's quickly becoming my favorite system up there with 5th Ed D&D, and I hope that they're gonna expand on the setting a little bit and give us a little bit more sandbox to play with than just really a very fleshed out city. The city is great.
Yeah.
But I would like some more information on kind of the Deadlands and what goes on, how people survive outside of the city. So that's going to be interesting if they expand on that at some point.
Yeah, when you were talking about the Deadlands, the only thing that I could think of was the cursed earth outside of Mega City 1 in Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I think for me it's like Dark Sun comes to mind for me, but that's because I have a lot of D&D exposure. But it's definitely like the wildlands where like shit goes crazy and you have no idea how people actually survive out there, but they do. But yeah, this is a good session. I really kind of enjoyed it. We didn't get into really a score per se, but you guys are playing it kind of different than I expected, which is awesome. I'm pretty happy with the way it's going. So yeah, we will be back next Wednesday we'll start at 6:30. We're until 10. Everybody want to do their shout outs, say hello, whatnot, to various folks?
I may not be here next
that's
Wednesday,
right. Yeah.
so if you guys can do it without me, go ahead. But if you can't, I apologize in advance.
What is his character in the middle of right now?
He was, I don't think we actually was pretty sorted. He tagged along with Chesh in the initial meeting with Stanza, Stasia. Oh, fuck it.
Stasia.
Stasia. But I don't think we actually were complicated at all for you.
Not too much.
I might
I
have
mean-
to do some digging and find a reason.
Yeah, and if you're doing like the real deep planning stuff while I'm not here, I mean, you guys have a good idea of what my character can do and her beliefs and stuff, and Imp can always, take a gander at my character sheet if he needs more specific information.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
I am super sad that I'm going to miss it, though, because this is just so fun.
You can watch the VOD, it's fine.
All right, so let's do this. We're going to just do it clockwise. Panzer, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am Panzerschwein. I am a variety caster here on Twitch. Just started out about 4 months ago. Did my first 12-hour stream yesterday, which was crazy for Neo. I was so exhausted by the end. I'm surprised people can do 24-hour streams. But thank you to people who've followed me over here. Poe, Spezza. I know that there's some other people in here too. Country. Yeah, I think Sarah's still in here. Georgia and Salty Beard. Thank you guys so much for coming. Oh yeah, Clutch was here too.
Thank you guys for the follows too. Appreciate that. All right, let's see. We're going clockwise. Rojan, who are you and what are you doing on the internet?
I'm Rojan Quest. Like Panzer, I am a variety caster and also the DM over here on Tuesday nights for Gibbering Mouthers. HB Fox is one of my players who gets to suffer through my insanity on that. Pretty much I stream whatever. Right now I'm still working through my backlog. That's probably going to be going to take me all year. I still got probably about a good 90 games I got to get through on that. And I'm really looking forward to For Honor closed beta and then just playing it all next week.
Right on. Hybrid, who are you and what are you doing on the internet?
I am a hybrid magpie. I'm a variety caster on Twitch. I predominantly do creative stuff like, character drawings, icons, channel overlay, emotes, all that fun shindig. I also play just about any game I can get my hands on. Rocket League, H1Z1, like the horror games a little too much.
All right, and HP Fox, who are you? What do you do on the internet?
I am HP Fox. I'm the manager for the Hunter Wild. So if you want to support me in any way, go over there and support him. We are a community-based variety broadcast, and tomorrow we are going to be starting to jam out on For Honor when the open beta opens up, and we're going to go long and hard because we hate ourselves. And
that's what she said.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Stop by on the full launch for a lot of goodies. I'm not going to go over it all because I just can't be bothered.
All right.
Hey Fox, what time are you guys going live?
That is a question that should have a really good answer, but doesn't.
Gotcha.
It's basically whenever we wake up.
All right, cool. I'll keep an eye out.
So you folks that are still around, thank you so much for watching. This is obviously I'm Impious. I DM here on Dungeons and Distractions. I am helping kind of co-DM the RPG mixtape. What we're doing on Wednesday nights is switching systems every month, kind of getting a taste for it, seeing what we like. Last month we did Pathfinder, and this month we're obviously doing Blades in the Dark. Next month, Rojan is going to DM on Wednesday nights. I am unfortunately having to travel next month for work, so I'm going to be out, but they're going to be doing monsters and other childish things. I'm really actually kind of upset I'm missing that, but come hang out. That's going to be awesome. I'm also working on setting up a charity stream, hopefully in April, and then also starting another weekly game in April as well, because I apparently have way too much free time and need to fill it with D&D games. So stick around. If you haven't dropped the follow yet, please do so. Let you guys know when we go live, and that way you guys can make sure that you don't miss an episode of either this or Gibbering Mouthers or upcoming events. We also export these videos to YouTube, and I'll be doing that for this episode tonight. So if you missed last week's episode, or if you missed part of this episode for whatever reason, those will be up on YouTube. Just go search for Dungeons and Distractions and you'll find it. We are going to go raid somebody, which is one of my favorite things to do when we have a really good cast like this and we end. And what we're going to do is we're going to go raid Danataj. Danataj got partnered this month, which is awesome. He is a guy that is super chill guy, definitely deserves your love and support and that sub button. He's a great guy, and I'm roping him in to come do a charity stream with us, hopefully in April as well. So
I thought you said groping.
well, that was at TwitchCon.
Oh my!
That happened at TwitchCon. But so we're gonna go raid him. Here is our raid call. Wait, what I want you to do is go over there. Don't say anything yet. Just kind of lurk, and then when you see me spam, "We're here for the XP," reply with, "I heard there were dragons in here," and just kind of blow his chat up. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
And we're clear.
Yeah.
Oh, we did it. 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 We're good. We're
He's
good.
playing I Am Bread. Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
What charity stream is he
Dungeons
doing
and
right now?
Distractions! What's up, dudes? Oh, snap.
I'm gonna
Oh,
trying to get together
snapperoonies.
a charity stream in April of
Hold on. I'm concentrating.
12-hour
Concentrating.
games
Don't do it.
of
Don't lose it.
Blades in the
Oh.
Dark.
I heard there were
to
dragons in here.
support,
What's up, everybody? Holy shit.
Shit. Panzer, what's the name of the charity?
Welcome in all. you lovely
ASAN, which is
Yeah.
the Autism Self.
You are joining me in the parade
let's
that is
say,
the Damn Guns
autism-based
Nation. I don't know why I came up with
charity.
parade. Parade is